Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley.
I'm Sam Harder.
And I'm Carter Glasscock.
And today we are so pleased to be joined by actor, comedian, conqueror of the Sierra Nevadas. It's our friend
Travis Clark, everybody.
Welcome back to the damn show, Travis. How are you?
Thanks for damn having me.
Hell yeah. Well, I want to talk about your adventures because I've been following you on Instagram, very, very closely in terms of mountain climbing and all that stuff. But I want to actually start with our ungodly concoction because in order to be a true conqueror of peaks,
That's true.
you need to have a champion mentality. Travis,
my.
go ahead and tell them what we're getting into today.
Well, apparently we're drinking a can of bum energy.
Yes.
We've had this before.
We have indeed, yeah.
I got to tell you, when I think of the pejorative word bum, I don't think of a lot of energy. I think of a lot of sleeping, and I think of a lot of, just let me be. Like, there's a lot of just let me be.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sam is correct. We have the cherry frost variety, but this one was just so intriguing just because of the name Champion Mentality. I was like, well, I have to try it. But since we have had this before, I'm
A lot
sure
of people don't realize that's all it takes.
Oh yeah,
A little
yeah.
shift in your.
Well, it also has a
Your
little
mentality there.
paragraph on the back that's basically like an inspirational meme you'd find on a really bad
Par for the
Instagram
course, yeah.
page.
Oh, do you want to read it together?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you got it.
Oh, I've got it right here because I figured we've already talked about this once, so obviously you guys remember their credo that's featured in the copy on their website. I've got it up on the screen here, we can all recite it together.
No, yours is completely different.
Oh, is that
than the
different?
I
Wait,
have.
which one do you got?
whoa.
Yeah, see, this is way more like a meme than this. Is what you have is more like just a fucking barrage of words.
What I have is like
a poem.
I was gonna say what I have is like shit that is painted on the wall of a CrossFit gym next to sweat is your fat
I
cry
was
for
going to say
mercy.
this is what's a manifesto that is scrawled on a on a piece of paper next to someone who hung themselves on an elliptical.
So this just says champion mentality. It's not about winning or losing. It's about taking responsibility for your losses. So remember that after every sip.
Yeah, and also,
Just as you do for your wins. It's doing the work when you least want to, when no one else is watching. It doesn't mean you're motivated all the time. It simply means you have no quit.
again, highly reflected in the bum name.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, well, so, eagle-eared listeners will recall this is named for the Canadian weightlifting champion and bodybuilding champion, Chris Bumstead. But his story is not the funny one with Bum Energy. It is, of course, their CEO who lost over $600,000 in crypto after falling for what I would categorize as an old lady text scam.
Oh, no.
Where someone sent him like, this is Apple. You can reset your password here. And he did. And then they got access to his iCloud. And then they stole over $500,000 in crypto from him.
Too much porno on his phone, dog.
I'm glad we bought this. He needs help.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too.
I thought it was going to be you need to send us a bunch of gift cards.
It doesn't.
Or like one of those things is like, "Hi, Angela, I'm here. I'm downstairs."
Well, that's the thing with those scams is I'm sure once they get you on the hook, they check your iCloud. And if you've got crypto, then that's good. They'll just run off with it. But if you don't, then they'll call you and be like, okay, we need you to go to CVS and buy 25 Google Play gift cards.
I've had that happen a few times where it's always with the place I'm working. It's supposed to be my boss.
Uh-huh.
And it's never my full name. They're like, hey, Clark, it's me. I need you to go and get me $40,000 worth of Apple gift cards. I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah. I go by my middle name. Like Paul's my first name. So whenever I know I'm being scammed in a text when someone's like, "Hey, Paul," because like no one calls me that. And all the Kamala texts have been like Paul. I know it's been tough.
Wait, is Kamala trying to get you to buy gift cards?
Yeah, Kamala wants. She sees that I've invested a lot in crypto. So
This is maybe one of the oddest flavor names we've ever had.
But it's
what we got?
Champion Mentality.
that's the flavor name. That's not the.
I think that's the flavor name.
That is the flavor name. Yes.
Because it took me a second to realize that because I was just looking at it and I was like, is it unflavored? It's caffeinated with coffee beans.
I will say
Victory piss.
I don't know if it's going to taste like coffee or what.
the labeling of the can reminds me of the very popular 80s generic brand, which
like a right, what the fuck is that shit? The right,
Diet Right.
Diet Right. Yeah, there we go.
well, but there was things in the 80s that just would say like cola on
Cola.
it, and it would have like a blue stripe, and it would look exactly like this. And you would buy like potato chips, and then like the joke was supposed to be that the owner of generic brands died, and his tombstone just says body with like a blue.
Before we get too far away from it, I did want to, I maybe have mentioned this on the show before, but it came up. A friend of mine at one point was dating a person who was not the smartest person, and he came home to a hand-scrawled note that says, "The IRS has tapped my phone and freezed my bank account. I'm risking imprisonment right now. I need to do everything they want me to do by Friday." And what the IRS wanted her to do was buy Google gift cards from CVS to pay them back for the result of their audit.
I was hoping it was like, I gotta, clean the bathroom. I gotta make sure my oil gets changed. It's a lot of chores. The IRS is very chore.
And I should say, this person is my age. They were in their 30s when this happened. This is not a mega old person. This is not a mega young person.
They caught them on a bad day. They caught them on a day when they probably were already like, fuck, I need to pay my taxes. I haven't done it in a while. So they get that text.
The IRS wants me to buy a $500 gift card from Best Buy.
It makes sense.
Let me just tell everybody listening, the IRS doesn't call. They send letters, and then they send people.
But they do like gift cards.
They do.
They love them.
Yeah.
You can smooth things over with your agent.
So it sounds like there was a lack of champion mentality in your friends. Am I cracking this open and going for it? Is that what we're doing?
No, we're gonna split it.
Sampler cups here.
Rivers is just teasing us forever on this one.
Boom. Well, I was trying to get straight to it.
Well, what do we think
cold.
champion mentality tastes like?
That's why we do this.
We got to figure it out. The weird thing about Bum, by the way, they are in a traditional 12-ounce can, just like a can of Coca-Cola or Sprite or anything else or beer.
Well, it's not very caffeinated compared to like a normal size energy
It's
drink.
giving me very strong Sprite energy.
Well, it's just clear, and most energy drinks are just clear. You just don't know that because they're in a can.
I'm going to check the bouquet on it.
It smells fruity.
You know what it smells? It smells like blue Gatorade. It smells like blue Gatorade.
Yes, it does.
It tastes like blue Gatorade a little bit.
It does.
Damn,
It's
yeah.
sharp.
Yeah, it
It's
does
a
kind of
little
have
sharp.
carbonated blue Gatorade.
Carbonated blue Gatorade with a hint of, you ever eaten a lot of like Sour Patch Kids, and at the end you get the sour sugar at the bottom?
Oh, yeah.
Just put the sour sugar in a carbonated blue.
This is, by the way, the
The champion mentality is just drinking candy.
I've been a champion for a long time.
hell yeah. They do have at the bottom of their website. This is you might remember this from last time, Carter and Sam. You can say it with me if you remember it. Don't be a bum. Wake up early and chase greatness. Don't be caught complaining.
Dream so big it scares you.
That's right. Expect less and hope more.
Rivers, stop reading it like a pirate. What are you doing?
Yar, yar. I'm reading it like
happier. Take risks.
Hey, it's in all caps on the masthead. What am I supposed to do, Sam? They
You're
want
supposed
you.
to like whisper it so intensely it seems like you're yelling.
Okay.
don't have the answers?
Yeah.
Find them.
Yeah.
Love your mom.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Love your mom. Didn't raise no bitch. You have one life. Set the damn standard.
See, that's how it's fucking written.
So it's supposed to be Alec Baldwin on tape you're not supposed to hear.
Yeah.
That's the voice.
Yeah, definitely. You were putting too much vibrato in it. No one can be that actually happy about this.
What did he
you got to
say?
be serious.
What did he say when they busted his cucumber wife? Consider the source.
Consider the source.
Consider the source. I guess that was for public
Ilaria?
consumption. Yeah, Ilaria, cucumber.
Dream so big it scares you.
That's right.
Take risks. You'll be happier. It's turning into Trump.
Yeah.
My dream is
Don't be a bum.
People are telling me
Your mother did raise a
Yeah.
bitch. Don't be a bum. Set the standard.
Yeah, that kind of is one of those catchphrases that would go wild inside his brain.
Has he made an energy drink? He seems like an energy drink guy.
I don't.
Right?
It's coming.
It's gonna
Cannot
happen.
I can't
It's gonna
believe
happen.
that he hasn't. Yeah.
Yeah. You're talking about the guy who's big proponents are Hulk Hogan and Kid Rock doesn't have an energy drink
Yeah, or a beer or
or beer. I mean, like, He is energy drink the guy.
Yeah, well, the energy drink thing actually makes more sense for him because he doesn't drink. He just does Diet Coke, so you can have a Diet Coke flavored.
This is get my thinking juice.
Right? Yeah.
You know what? I just realized that's never going to happen because people just give him money for nothing. He doesn't even have to sell a product anymore. People just keep giving him money.
Just gotta make yourself like a Christ-like
Because they think he's something.
Well, no, he's selling silver coins and stuff now, so he's still all about the product.
Does he have crypto coins though too?
Oh yeah, the NFTs. And not a moment too soon. This is the time to get into NFTs.
NFT, not fucking Trump.
We
you know what
bought
I mean?
the apes.
Yeah.
We made the apes.
No, they're the Trump collective.
Kamala hates the apes.
The AI pictures of him being like an angel in heaven.
Yes, yeah,
Can you get Jesus moving the bullet as an NFT?
yeah. I mean, I would
You
assume
could
so.
you could probably find that.
Well, what happened is the first time he did that, he called them digital trading cards, and then all of the old people called him and were like leaving messages, just being like, "Where's my card?" Not knowing that it's digital, and so now he's got both.
his phone has like 1,000 voicemails.
Hello?
Who's going to take care of these voicemails for Donald Trump?
You don't have the answers? Go find them.
He made a digital card
Yes.
and made the mistake of saying the word card.
Yes.
And then because the majority of his audience wants an actual card,
Yes.
he has to
Yes.
card stock.
So
he has
the-
to get physical media.
Yeah, so the new one, he's got the digital cards and in-person cards. What we talked about this. What was it, like $7,000 for all of them or something?
You got to collect them all.
Something
Right.
crazy. Well, you were signed up to win a dinner with him, but
Yeah, it was. You have to spend so much money before
Yeah.
you get entered in the contest.
Yeah. It's like
It was a
Marlboro
crazy
miles.
amount.
yes, camel cash. Yeah. Oh man, that was the good racket back in the day. After a football game on campus, you just wandered around and ripped off the camel caches and the Marlboro
Oh,
miles.
God, yeah.
A good racket.
Yeah, man.
What are you, homeless?
Yeah, buddy. I got a cool Marlboro
Good racket
jacket.
used to be digging through trash after
Not through
game day.
trash. It'd be on
cans.
No, it'd be on the ground.
It's ground
Yeah.
trash.
Ground
It's not
trash.
dirty.
We were all footloose and fancy free
Yeah.
back then. We were
Yeah.
throwing away free money.
I wouldn't go in the trash can. I just get it off the dirt.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
clean. That's God's
As
dirt.
the Lord intended.
yeah, thank you, Travis. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm going to start smoking again.
Hell yeah.
You
Just for the
should.
cash, right?
Just for the
Yeah,
cash.
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
realize it was. That's why I quit, because they were too expensive.
Goddamn nanny state outlawed Marlboro miles, man.
Yeah.
That's right, dude.
It's a good way.
I don't mind the cancer. I just want the rewards, Like that's really what I'm after.
It's the value.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Look, I could buy a kayak or
Yeah.
I could smoke a kayak.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna smoke anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, there's no better jacket to wear if you're a dad throwing knives at a wall behind the shed.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
right.
what you wear. Yeah.
So how do we feel about this one?
Oh my God, it's so
3.5.
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah,
kinda
it's
like
3.5 because there's nothing particular great about it, but it's also one of those ones where there's no aftertaste.
Yeah.
Like you'd forget what it tasted like if
Yeah.
you hadn't just tasted it 3 seconds
True,
ago.
but I am hit with a very strong saccharine flavor. Like I'm very much an artificial sweetener just hanging out in my that's what I'm
Oh
left
yeah,
with.
we're used to that.
Yeah.
I don't. I have barely hit that anymore.
I got a big cup of it
I
right
don't-
here.
It takes it a whole nugget for it to even affect you. Yeah.
It really
Nice.
does. I think it tastes weird when I drink a soda that has sugar in it now.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
this tastes insane.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What you think, Carter? I'm saying 2.5, by the way. Right in the middle. It's
And we're going out of 5 or out of 10?
out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'd give it a 3.5 out of 10.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's where I'm at
yeah.
with it.
Oh, so
That's
one.
also
yeah,
fine.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a 1 for you.
I like that it tastes like Gatorade, but I don't like that it's not blue like Gatorade.
Yeah, that's
I
troubling.
am missing the artificial color. Like
Yeah.
I really find in my sports energy drinks, I want it to look like something that could never happen in nature.
When,
Yeah. Right.
when
Yeah.
we pour it out and it's colored, we all get excited.
I was just about to say
Yeah.
that it's a sad state of my life where if I go to pour one of these out to break it up into cups and it comes out a different color, I literally go like, ooh, like
That's like we're the interest group before they color it. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, does the taste? Is
Oh,
yeah.
we can't influence you, so we have to give you the clear version to
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Did you like clear liquid A or clear liquid B?
Before they just
Yeah.
pour it into Chat GPT and it's like delicious.
I like it when a sports drink looks like you cracked open a glow stick. Like that's my shit.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
yeah.
my favorite.
you're talking Green Squall, Powerade, baby. That's
Yeah.
the one.
Radioactive game fuel.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna give it like a 5 out of 10.
So
2.5 out of 5.
That's
Yeah.
where I'm at too.
No, you know what? I'm going to give it a 10 out of 20.
Wow. Okay.
That's good.
That's like a 50 out of 100 if I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
think about it
Yeah.
a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
60 out of 120.
Yeah. Look, we got to chase greatness. Okay. We got to wake up early and chase greatness. So
I got to tell you, what's really bumping it down for me is the name. Like, I
Bum.
don't want to drink something called Bum.
Bum.
You know?
Yeah.
But you
I like
should
that it's bum
you
energy.
should see how jacked the guy it's named after is.
Oh, he is incredibly jacked. Yeah.
If you told him that, he would smash you.
Would just pop my head like a grape. Yeah.
he'd pin you to the
Yeah.
floor and fucking crush you to death.
But he's a Canadian bodybuilder.
Yes,
So
but
he's just solid poutine under there, right? He's just nothing.
one
for breakfast.
of the greatest pictures I've ever seen.
Let's see it.
I mean, his abs look like they're painted on.
Good.
His head looks like it's superimposed on that body. Whoa.
That's Mr.
It's-
Bumstead.
And because he's got the mannequin teeth on top of his like super tan body, he just glows off the. Yeah,
He's killing it.
He looks like a factory reject action figure from the 80s.
and that they painted the wrong color.
And
Yeah, that's true.
The
Yeah.
thing is, if you drink this, you could look just like him.
I just wanted. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
He's holding a medal, and the medal is so gigantic it makes it look like he is just a huge small person.
That's what I was gonna say. It just looks like he's just like tiny. like it's a quarter. Like that's the size of a quarter to him.
And this-
most ripped 1 foot tall man
I was about to say, yeah. The winner of this year's Mr. Universal Humunculus.
Dream so big it scares you.
Yeah.
Mama didn't raise no bitch.
Oh, look at you, little guy! You lifted a whole 5 pounds. Look at that.
Hey, buddy, do you know how to get to the gym in Dinky Town? Follow the yellow brick road.
Yeah. We represent the bum energy. The bum energy. In a world where a man is very, very tiny, but also very, very jacked.
Yeah.
Do you want to go to Dwarfinator again, Rivers?
I absolutely.
It's a mini wrestling.
Yeah.
A little person
Yeah, yeah.
wrestling.
Oh, I thought it was like Dorf on golf. Like it
Oh,
was,
yeah, yeah.
Tim Conway had done a Dorf Terminator movie, which
Oh,
I was
man.
very excited
Oh,
about.
shit. He's dead, right? We can't
do that.
Can't
now.
make that happen.
But ChatGPT can.
yeah. Bring me the ghost of Vincent Chiavelli. Let's make this
AI,
happen.
show me Tim Conway, small but as cyborg.
Yeah, Dwarfinator was a bar wrestling event.
Because you
featuring-
left. I just asked it as a joke because you left going, I would never come back to this ever again.
Yeah, well, so here's my...
It's an in-person event?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
yeah.
at one point, one of the guys jumped and landed on another guy, and then they fell into me and Rivers, and he still said he would never go again.
I don't know if I said that. I think I insisted I called the action. In that case, I'd go to all of them. I was finding the actual wrestling announcing to be very lacking. But aside from that, I had a good time.
You know, when you go to a wrestling event and you're like, God, I hope the announcing's
Just
good.
saying.
Or it's like when your parents invite you to a thing where they're staying up. You're like, are you better than this guy?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, look, kid, they left a lot of heat on the table. all
Color
right?
commentary, if the color's beige, I guess. Come on.
Yeah.
You left furious. Not furious, but very irritated.
I think I said it on the show when we talked about it. I wasn't furious at the show. It was strictly the strip club announcer guy who was calling the action where I'm like,
Coming to the stage. Like a lot of that
straight
kind of
up,
stuff.
yeah. And it's like, dude, you give me like 2 minutes to prep. I could do this 150,000 times better.
After the show, there's a line like out the door to meet the announcer guy and like shake his hand. Like, let's get out of here.
And keep in mind,
Fuck this.
you're a comic, right?
Yeah.
So imagine the guy after the show who just comes up and he's like, dude, I could do this like better than you. Rivers is that guy. And he really thinks it's good.
Hey, man, look. There's only like 3 things I'm good at, and that's one of them.
That's kind of the goal when you're on stage and you're doing it to the point that someone in the audience could go, I could do that.
Right? Make it look easy.
Well, they didn't even have actual announcers. It was just the other little people wrestling on the mic who weren't in the ring at the time.
Yeah.
So Rivers is trying to dunk on these guys who aren't even announcers.
Yeah, they
they're
should-
professional athletes.
Just like some really popular waiter who's like, yeah, I guess I'll do it. If I need to. I mean, if you don't
Hey,
have anyone else.
Look, stick to the flips, meathead. That's what I got to say about that.
they're pretty
All
good
right.
at flipping.
That's what I'm saying.
Really?
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this was... they
Because
even...
a very compact center of gravity. I would think.
Well,
that would
some
be,
of them are
yeah.
so small they can really get flipping good.
Yeah, hell yeah. Bouncing off the ropes and shit, jumping off bar stools into the crowd. It was, yeah, it was.
Microman was there.
Yeah, Microman was awesome. It was rad. Like we talked about it. I never said it was the whole event was rotten. The athleticism in the ring was great. It was strictly the presentation that I
The
thought
announcers.
could have been better.
This
And
was in a Roadhouse bar.
they would have even had to pay me. I'd have done it for free.
The funny thing is that this is something you actively pursue, being like the one part of it that I found lacking, the thing that I do.
All I'm saying is I'd have done it for free.
This is
And they
again,
fucked up.
Again, the toxic fan after the comedy show. I'll just do the show for free, man. I just noticed it would be better if I was involved.
You're the guy who goes to like their favorite band and holds up the sign like, "Let me play the solo." And
Or you have just a sign of a set list you wish they would play.
I mean,
half of those aren't even our songs.
yeah. Half of these are Grand Funk Railroad songs, is, I believe, Pete Townsend's line to Homer Simpson.
Well, you should try to message them beforehand.
Yeah, so they are coming back to that venue.
I think that it's some venue. I'm not sure if it's that same one.
All right, I'm in.
I feel that it's the same wrestlers that my friend is in this like Van Halen tribute band. And he posted a photo of like this show that they were doing, and it was like, "Come for Nerd Halen, stay for dwarf wrestling."
Fuck yeah.
A part that seems peculiar but is true is there's actually several troops of dwarf wrestling in America. There's so many that there's multiple on tour, and sometimes in the same promotion. They have multiple tours going on at the same time.
Yeah.
So there'll be a show on one part of the country and then another like day by day.
But we're talking about being a small fish in a big pond. You think you're the only dwarf troop in town? Like, I'm gonna take my shit to L.A. and there's like 5 other dwarf troops that are younger and hotter.
Well, like the night we saw them, they had like a little card that had all their dates, and they were running another show, I think in Vegas, at the exact on the same night. So I was like, oh, this is like a big group actually.
Yeah,
That
they probably make money. The place was pretty packed.
That was packed out, and
It sounds like they do it the way Trans-Siberia Orchestra does it. It's like you have one person going, east to west, and you got another one going west to east. So they
Smart
meet in the middle.
business.
Yeah.
oh man. Well, Sam encountered some bum energy on the stream last Thursday.
Oh, right. Yes,
I did.
I
Yeah.
saw this post.
We did a stream where it started off by me being like, I'm starving. I forgot to eat before the stream. I was like, let's go to Jack in the Box.
This was like the El Pollo incident a few podcasts ago.
Yeah.
Sam just gets into trouble everywhere he goes, man.
I don't know. So I went and ordered a Jack in the Box, I think loaded breakfast
It's
sandwich.
ultimate breakfast
One
sandwich.
of those. I
An
forget.
all-day thing.
Yep.
When they prepare it and I go to get my food, some lady who's homeless, I think, is standing there trying to talk to them about some nonsense. And then she sees the bag as I'm trying to grab it, and she grabs the bag and tries to run. But then I snap, like when she was doing it, I like grabbed the bag trying to get it from her, and it just ripped the paper bag, of course, and then the sandwich fell on the ground.
I was expecting a sandwich explosion.
That would have been great
like
if that
yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Wait, so she grabbed your bag of food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she was already standing up there causing a fracas behind the counter.
Just waiting for an order,
And
just
then-
it's any stray order to
Yeah,
come out.
and
I don't think she was. I think she was legitimately trying to buy something at first, and then she was just like, didn't have the money or whatever. And then it was just, she saw the chance and she tried to take it.
Yeah.
And then it didn't work. And then she tried to come back 5 minutes later and order, and the guy wouldn't take her order.
Yeah. Well, what happened to your sandwich?
It got
They
remade.
remade it.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was filming this.
At that point, you kind of hope she got the original sandwich then. And then everyone would be happy.
you know.
If she would have tried to grab it after it hit the floor, I would have been like, whatever. But,
Right.
you know,
It didn't come unwrapped, right? It just sat there.
it came enough unwrapped that a little bit of it might have touched the floor. So.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's a principle. They'd be like, "Ugh,
We've
no."
already established if it's not in the trash can, if it's just on God's dirt.
Unless it is the floor of a jack.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that is not God's dirt. That is the devil's linoleum.
In Central Hollywood too. by the way.
Yeah, right in front of the counter where everyone walks.
Oh, yeah. That is Satan's.
I don't know what that is, but it's definitely not gum, and I'm not eating off of it.
So, yeah.
Maybe not gum, definitely comb.
I try, yeah. I tried not to do anything. I didn't think we were going to get into anything crazy during the stream.
And
to
this
be
happened
honest.
immediately.
Like 20
Yeah.
minutes in.
Yeah, we drove from here to Hollywood.
This is what we're offering on the stream, right? Like you want the unvarnished look at Hollywood.
This is LA,
right?
baby. Yeah, yeah.
That's what you get.
Might
That
get
is
your
just
shit snatched.
Hollywood. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
just straight up documentary filmmaking.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's perfect too because I'm, I was holding the camera, looking at the stream, at the chat, and I'm like kind of holding it selfie mode. You just see Sam in the background, and the whole incident take place. And then you just
You're
hear
in the back like, what the fuck are you doing?
"What the fuck are you doing?" and just like ready to fight, dude.
Well, at first I thought he was saying it to you. I thought he was
Don't read the fucking chat.
Fuck you doing, Rivers?
Oh,
No,
man.
great.
It's so
And
good.
it was perfect too because it's the first stream where Sam got a little wireless microphones to wear, so you could.
That's right. Y'all were
You
wearing
can
those.
hear it just
everything.
perfect. Oh, yes.
You could hear a sandwich drop. It
Yeah.
was just
You can.
Yeah.
You literally can.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, it was excellent. So join us on YouTube, youtube.com/the good
Thursdays
spot.
at 5. You're hearing this probably like a month after this incident actually happened.
But it was posted on Rivers posted it for posterity, so you can't
Yeah.
see this.
Oh
It
yeah,
is.
yeah. I put it on Insta. Sam put it on his. Yeah.
Okay.
This is we're talking
YouTube.
legendary
YouTube
moment.
short.
Legendary moment in Hollywood history here. Is what we're talking about.
I think you should just go to every fast food place along there and just see what kind of ruckus comes.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I am a big proponent of eating inside at a fast food restaurant.
Great. No one does it.
No
Oh,
one,
I do it.
No one does it except for like people who are insane.
Dirtbags like me and you.
Well, I don't have a car, so I can't even hit the drive-through, and it's just full of people like me.
I didn't know that wasn't a thing. I used to go to Carl's Jr. a lot because they used to have a Beyond
delicious.
beef burger. They got rid of it.
Did they?
Yeah, they did.
Damn.
Yeah. But I would go there all the time, and I would sit in there, and they would be so confused by me. Because I would be like, "For here," and they're like, "What?" and I would be like, "Can I have a soda?" And they were like, "What?" And they didn't know how to fill it up. Like it was so wild to me because they would have the ones that normal diners would use, but they were all shut off. So you'd go to use them,
Yeah.
and they were just empty.
That's the way it is at the Jack in the Box with bulletproof glass. They're not going to let you give a chance to fill up a free
Then
soda.
you whip out your copy of the latest James Patterson novel and you start reading it and just fucking set up shop with this Carl's Jr.
I haven't been to the McDonald's since they remodeled it and opened back up, but it used to be used as like a coffee shop for old men who would go and just hang out all day.
Oh yeah. Hey, I'm in with the Panera crowd, the day crowd at Panera.
Yeah.
McDonald's is such a crazier place to do it because they're not
Oh,
even
yeah.
doing work; they're just hanging out.
But now they want you to order on those like massive iPads. Like they don't want you to actually talk to people. You just go,
Right.
like,
I still
yeah.
try not to use them. I try my best not to use them.
Oh, they get upset when you don't. They're like, "This the fucking thing's right
Fuck
there."
no, dude.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
talking
right
to
there.
a human. I wanted to talking to the person's fun.
Look, I'm hungry, but I also like just want a moment.
You know how much
Yeah.
you know how much fucking faster it is to tell someone else
I want those patties
rather
medium
than go
rare.
like, okay,
No, that-
okay,
to-
let me do this all these different fucking ways.
to that point, Carter, the little electronic offering system does allow you a chance to just get fucking wild with it.
Oh yeah.
You can get real weird, especially at Taco Bell. You can
Yeah.
get-
To that's the thing. You're doing customizations that you would feel shame doing
Bingo.
face
Right.
to face.
Yeah.
which
Also,
tells
you get to touch
sh-
that screen that everyone's been picking their ass with
that's what I-
earlier.
that's what I
And then
think
that
about,
locked
too.
bathroom that no one can use. So you just with your doo-doo fingers eat a fucking rare Big Mac.
Listen, I got my nachos Bel Grande the way I wanted, but I also got scabies.
Yeah, yeah. Also got,
That's smudged.
also got rotovirus.
And I know the employees of these places have to fucking hate that.
Yeah,
Where they're just
probably.
like, you want the nacho supreme with fried potatoes on it? Okay.
Hell yeah, bro.
So we have a connoisseur in our
30 fire sauces. 30.
All I'm saying is a Mexican pizza, add onions, add rice, add nacho cheese. Get
Remove
the fuck
cheese.
out of here.
Add more cheese. Subtract cheese again.
get all in and out with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I want the Flying Dutchman fucking
Yeah.
Mexican pizza.
I want it diarrhea style over easy. What?
That order doesn't even sound crazy enough to say to someone in real life. To just be like, add onions and cheese. That's pretty normal, I would say.
And the spicy Southwest
But
ranch.
those of us with social anxiety, having an app to do that is amazing.
Yes,
yeah,
I
yes.
don't have to look a person in the eye and tell them what I really want.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't want to see my thoughts, brother.
Dude, I do it at Starbucks. That's all. I only order through the app. And then when you see some psycho ordering in real life, I'm like, God, why don't you get with it,
Look at
Gramps?
that
Like,
God fucking non-autistic piece of shit over there.
love it. Absolutely. Ordering with their dog.
You with your self-confidence.
Just use the app like everybody else.
It's fucking quicker to order face to face. It really is.
Yeah, but-
and they're trying to make it convenient by saving money on the app because they want to fire more people.
Oh, of course.
Oh, no,
yeah.
it
Yeah,
all
that's
has to
true.
do with the fact that the minimum wage has gone way too expensive to
Right,
keep
right.
people employed.
Yeah.
But I will say, ordering via the Taco Bell app, even if you have your phone on silent, it goes ding every time when it goes through.
Well, it's a bell.
But it's always surprising. Like if you're trying to middle of the night shame order, bong,
The kids are awake. Yeah.
and I don't even have kids.
Yeah.
The neighbors.
The neighbor's kids. Travis is ordering Taco Bell again.
It's the damn bell.
I just want to switch out the beef for black beans.
Why is that so difficult? Just give me a Mexican pizza, no cheese, extra cheese, no cheese, add onion.
Kick to the side of the street with a pair of steel-toed boots. Over easy. Tomorrow.
Oh my god. Shit.
Ordering at a restaurant is becoming a skill that is being lost in America. I see it all the time.
It's true.
When you go out with people, sometimes you're like, whoa, you can't communicate in a 2-sentence format. Holy shit.
I will say,
Yeah.
for some reason, the fast food digital ordering system is appealing to me because I want to make little special edits. The exact opposite is true if I ever have to go to a sit-down restaurant and scan a thing
fuck
with my
off.
phone.
No.
I'm like, just give me
No,
a
no.
paper.
Well, the other thing, too, is like people who, they do that annoying thing of like, can you come back in just a minute? Like, I know everyone else has got their order ready, but can you come back for a minute? Because
Yeah.
mine has to be perfect. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Just pick something. Like, everything has got a number next to it.
You indecisive piece of fucking shit.
It's all bad. Just pick one.
You're so indecisive, you're not going to enjoy it no matter what it is. The whole
Right.
time you're going to be thinking, I should have got the other thing.
Yeah, and can I have a bite of yours?
Should have got the Crunchwrap Supreme.
Terrible.
Those are
gonna
so
give-
expensive now.
Everything is so expensive.
That's why I
Yeah.
don't. Another reason not to go to fast food restaurants. You could get a good sandwich at this place down the street for the same price as a fucking crunch wrap, or it's like as much as like a double cheeseburger. You can get a sandwich made of actual food and bread that's not styrofoam.
Dude, I spent $15 on Wendy's the other day,
Hell
which
yeah,
is
you did.
which is normal, but a few years ago that would warrant a wellness check.
yeah.
Yeah, you can go into Taco Bell now and walk out like $15 lighter, and you're like, I bought 2 things and a drink.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happened to Jack in the Box. I bought that sandwich and a large Coke, and it was like $10.
That's why you're like, I got to fight this woman. Like, there's just no,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm fucking hungry.
If this were
They overcharged me for this shit.
if this was a $1 menu item, I'd let it slide.
Look,
but we're $10 in.
If this was a regular breakfast, sure. Ultimate breakfast? Get the fuck back here.
Yeah.
Ultimate fighting.
Yeah, ultimate fighting. We kind of mentioned it at the beginning of the show, but let's talk about your climb up the tallest mountain in the lower 48 states, my friend.
I'm
What?
actually wearing my Mount Whitney hat right now that I bought at the the gift shop. It's not at the top; it's at the bottom. It would be weird if you hiked to the top and there's
a gift shop? Yeah, yeah.
Like, do you want to ride down or?
Please buy something. I've been up here for weeks. Yeah, I tried several times to do this. I
Yeah, how
tried-
many times? How many attempts?
I did 3 attempts last year. 1 which got very, very close, and 2 were just me going, I'm still too scared, and just turned around. Like,
Oh, wow.
Because you have to start in the middle of the night. You have
Yeah.
to start at like 2 a.m.
Gosh.
And when you're hiking in active bear country by yourself, at 2 a.m. with a little like "Here I am" bear light. Like it's scary.
Wow.
Yeah.
And also too, like there's numerous times where you're like, I think I'm on the trail. Like I don't know.
I'm headed up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Definitely going up.
It sucks to walk, so I guess I'm
There's
going
stuff in my way, but I'm still up.
So my 4th attempt was back in June. It was actually on the summer solstice, which was the longest day of the year.
Oh, perfect.
So it worked
idea.
out perfect for me. I didn't eat anything though. And I burned close to like 20,000 calories doing this.
Did you weigh yourself before and after?
Well, I didn't have that much mind
Okay, yeah.
ability. I had took a pack of Mike and Ike's. Mike and Ike's are like my favorite trail food because it's like they're sugary. They're good in cold. They're good in heat. They're fine.
Right.
I went to the top of Mount Whitney, and it's 11 miles up, and then it's 11 miles back down, and that's really
harder.
the harder part.
Yeah.
On the way down, I was convinced that the river I was walking by, there were people playing an unreleased Black Sabbath record. And I was like, Ozzy sounds amazing on this record. I don't know why they sat on this.
Holy shit.
So on top of that, I'm seeing all of these shapes and rocks. It's like, how come nobody talks about the faces and the rocks up here?
They're just full on hallucinating.
Hallucinating so hard. I get back to my hotel room, and I'm there by myself because my wife does not like hiking. Well, she doesn't like the kind of hiking I do.
I was about to say, that's sensible.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
So I'm sending her this photo of the top, and I was like, I don't know. I dropped my phone when I was up there, and every photo I took is fucked up. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, there's a coven of witches in this photo, and they weren't up there. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I was seeing things that were not only not in the photo, I could zoom in on my hallucinations and see them clearer.
In the phone.
Yeah, in the phone.
Wow.
So I was convinced. I took photos of demons and of coven witches. And
This is why every prophet has their talk with God on top of a fucking mountain. It's like altitude sickness. And
What's that called?
starvation.
What's it called? Where your blood turns to sludge. Kind of.
Yeah. It's-
Hypoxia.
Yeah, there we
no
go.
oxygen, no food. And I got back home and I pre-ordered food for myself because I knew by the time I got back, everything would be closed.
Yeah.
So there's like a little Chinese restaurant in town. I ordered this like little vegan Chinese meal. They did not give me any eating utensils. So I just start throwing food in my claw, and I'm like,
was it a styrofoam tray
Yes, it
that you
was.
could
It
fold
was
in
weird.
half and sort of slide into your mouth?
So I'm sitting there being like, it's fine. I'm in my own hotel room. No one can see me. The window is open and there's a family just like in shock staring at me. Like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And I just go over and like close the curtains and keep eating my like bean paste or whatever it was.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Nobody will ever let you know when you ask the reason why.
So yeah, kind of a mixed bag is what I'm saying.
Wow.
But yeah, I've stood on
made it.
Yeah, I made it. I made it to
That's
the top of the tallest mountain in the 48 contiguous states.
That's fucking amazing. So
shit.
Are we?
Where is that
That's-
again?
It's about 3 hours north from here. It's in the Eastern Sierras. So if you're ever going off to like, if you're in California, you're going off to like Mammoth Lakes, it's like halfway to Mammoth. It's
Yeah.
like kind of right in between.
So fun little fact about the foothills area just south of Mount Whitney is the Owens Valley, which prior to 1913 was a beautiful, verdant river valley with little cute animals and birds. And then they dammed up the Owens River and sent it to LA, and now it's a salt flat.
yeah, and if you go out there, it's super weird because you're nowhere near Los Angeles,
Right.
But it's all LADWP. land,
Yep.
because they own all the land out there.
That's where our water
Yeah.
comes
Yeah.
from. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they diverted this river.
Chinatown style.
Yes, straight.
That's
yes.
what Chinatown's about.
That's what
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
about.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So that area, the LADWP, actually has to wet down that valley because once they diverted the river out of there, everything dried up and giant clouds of cancerous cadmium swept across the San Joaquin Valley. So now we have to every summer dump a shitload of our water onto the valley floor to keep the cadmium from killing everybody.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So anyway,
And it's also where they filmed like every Western ever.
Django. Yeah.
Oh,
it's shot
cool.
Out there, Alabama Hills. Yeah.
So you've been, I assume you've been hiking your whole life? California native.
Yeah, I was certainly like into it as like a younger person, and I would do it. I remember going to REI one time and talking to a guy that, by the way, don't go to REI. They're assholes. I went
It's
there.
the guitar center of the hiking world.
It absolutely is. They don't have what you really need, and they're going to be a dick about it.
Yeah.
Here, let me just tune that for you real quick.
Yeah. You know what you really need? Yeah, it's not you. It's what
It's me to play Smoke on the Water for you real quick.
Look, we got a good deal on Dean's right now.
Oh, yeah, man. That one's you. That one's totally you.
The Dimebag Daryl with the Confederate flag. Yeah.
To an 8-year-old.
Are these the same mountaineering boots Dimebag wears? Is that what?
Hey, do you know
I just
where?
got the crampons from hell, man. They're amazing.
I was about to say, where
Is this a survival kit that Bear Grylls uses? Oh, yeah.
yeah, where's Billy Idol get his ice picks?
So ages ago, I was into it, and I remember going to REI and being like, "Hey, man, I want a shoe for like a really, really long hike." And the guy was like, "How long?" I was like, "I don't know, like 6 miles." He's all, "Yeah, I think you'll be fine with this." And he was like super demeaning.
It's like a
about
tennis shoe.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, like, look, a 6 mile hike for me was a long hike. For six miles for some people is a really long hike.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's not long for me now, but
Sure.
like, you don't have to like shoe shame me.
Yeah, yeah,
because I
you-
don't
yeah.
understand. Yeah.
It's pronounced New Balance.
Yeah, I was going to say, unless you're in there with sandals, I mean, you're going to probably be fine.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So, how long have you been trying to attempt this?
I started training all last year. So what happens is you have to get this permit to do it. You have to like enter a lottery
Okay.
for the permit. And everyone, when you're getting into hiking and you're getting into these like more crazy things, they're like, "Oh, just go ahead and enter the permit so you, the lottery, so you know what the process is like. You're not going to get one." I got one my first year.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
just
Oh,
right
okay.
away, I was like, "Oh fuck, I have
Oh,
it.
now I have to do
now I
it."
have to do it.
Yeah.
So I started training and doing all of these other peaks. There's this thing called the 6-pack of peak challenge where you just go to all of these different peaks to basically train for it.
Those are, what is that? Like in Southern is Jacinto and
Yeah, Jacinto,
Baldy.
Baldy, Gagonio, Wilson, Strawberry Peak. There's actually like 12 that you can do.
Yeah.
Right.
So this year I was going to be a completist and actually do all 12 of them.
Oh, wow.
But they burned up.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So I got 9 of them. I felt pretty good about
I had
that.
a,
Oh, yeah.
I had a much lazier version of that. Right before the heat wave, I was like, "Ooh, there's a heat wave, and I have the day off. I'm going to drive up to Big Bear and jump in that lake." And then it caught on fire.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh shit, fuck."
Oh, I mean, I'm a very like since the pandemic, I got really into hiking, but I have not to this like degree. Like I don't know. So when did you start taking like strenuous hikes? I guess.
I guess it was actually during the pandemic because like there was nothing to fucking do.
Right,
And
same.
I would go driving along Angeles Crest and I just found this like weird. I guess it's a parking lot, but it's just like a dirt thing. And I pulled over and there was a path there, and I'm like, "Well, where the fuck does this go?" And I just kept going back there to see how far it went. And it took me like a year to finally find the end of it. Because like when you're first starting, you're like, "I'm gonna go," and you go like 3 miles. You're like, "I'm fucking exhausted." And turn around, you go back. You're like, "That's 6 miles. I'm fucking really tired."
Yeah.
Then it turned out
Like
like
go to REI and shove it in his fucking face.
These shoes did just fine.
Yeah, the Reeboks are working out.
I'm tired. It was a lot.
Suck it,
You're working out just fine. Starch.
Yeah, I was about to say, "Suck it, Russell."
So I started doing that more and more, and then I eventually found where that went. Then I found this like 6-pack of peaks thing, and then I ended up finding up, getting that Mount Whitney thing, and then training for Mount Whitney just kind of became every weekend I was in the mountains, and now it's like,
Cool.
I'm still doing that. Like that's just every weekend for me. I'm doing some kind of like at least 10 miles, at least a couple of 1,000 feet of elevation gain. Now I'm trying to do Cactus to Clouds. I don't know if you know that. It's the
Is that
deadliest hike in America.
Palm Desert, right?
Yeah, it's San Jacinto, but from the bottom.
From Palm
Yeah,
Springs.
so you-
Yeah.
So you don't take the tram up. You just walk through like nothing but spider eggs and snakes and all kinds of shit. Yeah.
When do you attempt that? Because if you do it in the summer at the high elevation, that would be nice. But
Yeah.
then the desert is 150 degrees.
But it's another one of those like you start at 2 a.m. when it's not too damn
Oh, okay,
hot,
yeah.
and you try and get to like 10,000 feet before
Before the sun
it's
comes up.
120 degrees. Yeah.
To that point, so have you ever had to stop any of these like camp?
Camp, no. I some of my other Whitney attempts, like I got there and I'm going and I just go, I'm too fucking scared. I'm too
Sure.
I just don't feel safe. And it certain mountains you just don't fuck with. You just go,
Yeah.
the mountain is going to outlive me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not. People are like, you conquered the mountain. I'm like, that's not the relationship you have.
No.
with the mountain. You have a conversation with the mountain. You don't conquer it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
You think about that guy, the actor that died on Baldy and shit like that.
Julian. I don't want to be Julian Sands because if I do that, they just go, man found dead. They don't say like there's no there's no.
They'd say celebrated comic Travis Clark. No, I mean I am totally into it right now too, and I think it's like the best reason to live here is all the beautiful like
Absolutely.
hiking trails.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like for how overpriced everything is, like that is free.
Well, until you start getting all the equipment, like
Right,
I
yeah.
started buying so much shit.
Uh-huh.
And then you got to have like, do you have your emergency bivvy? No. Well, you need to get an emergency bivvy. You're like, okay. Did you get your water swords treatment? No. Well, you need to get your water sword. Oh, did you get your Kevlar chaps? No. So you got to get Kevlar chaps.
Did you get your minigun turret for bears?
I had that.
Right.
Yeah. I was in Boy Scouts. I'll never get the taste of potable aqua iodine tablets out of my mouth.
No, that's terrible.
That
It is
stuff
not
is
good.
ugh,
And I
rough.
tell you, like, the more you get into hiking, the less you take. Like,
yeah.
Because when I first started, I'm just taking way too much shit with me.
Sure.
Like my first Whitney attempt, I had like 40 pounds of shit on me, and you got to take 40 pounds of shit from the bottom to the top.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you get like halfway there, and you're like, I didn't touch 90% of this, so you just get rid of it. And now I just take like 3 liters of water, a battery in case my phone gets fucked up, a satellite communicator in case I get super injured, and like a little bit of first aid shit. That's about it. And like another jacket in case I get cold.
Dude, the satellite communicator would be clutch.
Yeah.
Even on easy ones, I'm like, man, if I'm stuck out here, like I'm fucking stuck.
But new iPhones, they now connect to the satellite. So you can text people, I am fucking lost when there's no. It's great. It's awesome.
That rules, yeah.
I see Aussie demons. Yeah. No, and
I was so convinced. I was like, this is so good. Why wouldn't Ozzy release
Yeah.
You should have.
I see generals in black masses.
You should have written it down, man. You know, then you write it. You know, or pass it off to Mac Sabbath.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, I love those guys.
Yeah, and I should say, by the way, for people listening, if you haven't, go look up a picture of Mount Whitney. It's one of
Yeah,
the most
Jesus.
terrifying looking fucking things you'll ever see.
And what's crazy is like you go up it and then you actually get here and then you walk around the back of it.
yeah.
And then you go back up it. So it's a
Jesus.
whole thing.
Wow.
It's absolutely insane.
Like
I've-
you get 9 miles in and you've gained like 13,000. Oh, you started at about 8,000 feet. So you've gained about 5,000 feet. You're at 13. You're exhausted. The air's super thin. They're like, congratulations. 2 more miles.
yeah. I've
How
gone.
long did it take you?
I think from car to car, I think it was 18 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was. But then, like, there's these trail runner dudes who are like, "Oh man, I got there at 10 in the morning. I was back home by 2," and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
That was going to be my next question. Did you encounter anybody on the trail, and what were they like?
You encounter all kinds of people. Like, I actually ran into this. Like, I think they were an older German couple, and you could tell that they were.
Oh, they were like on some Alp shit. They were like, yeah, this is
Well,
whatever.
For whatever reason, that part of the world attracts a lot of German tourists. I don't know
okay.
why. So,
Well, they come
were-
for the barbecue at Lone Pine Smokehouse. You could smell their butts for miles.
Yeah,
It's very smoky.
I was looking for Eric Schatz's bread. I hear it's very good. So I ran to this couple. They were probably in their late 60s, maybe early 70s.
Fuck.
And they were sitting there and they were tired. They were really, really
I
tired.
bet.
Yeah. And they were like, how much further? And I was like, really? Realistically, you have at least another hour.
I was about to say, is the rest of your life?
Yeah.
That's how much further.
That's the thing. Like the last mile takes an hour. It's an hour to
Yeah,
do
'cause
you're
it's
just
vertical
tired and
pretty
it's-
much.
Yeah, and it's just up.
Jesus.
So I was like, realistically, you have about a mile, but it's going to take you an hour. And I looked at the time, and it was before noon. I'm like, you have more than enough daylight.
Yeah.
I was like, you've made it this far. If you feel safe, you should go. So I go on. I get to the top. I cry ugly tears because I've been trying to do this thing for like a year at this point.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I'm just so excited. I call my parents because you actually have cell reception up there.
Whoa. Wait, why is there's no fucking cell reception in Griffith Park, but you could get it on top of
It's
Mount
the
Whitney?
weirdest thing. Like
the
Lone,
fuck?
Lone Pine, the city, has free Wi-Fi for the whole city.
Oh, wow.
And then I guess because you're so high, I don't know, you're closer to a satellite.
that's
I have no
amazing.
idea. So I call my parents. When I hike a lot, I get very hoarse. So I start talking like this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I made it. I don't know how I'm going to get back, but I made it. And they were like, we're so proud of you. I'm like, I got to go. And I get off the phone. I have some like French climber take a photo of me holding the sign that's up there. I take photos of him. I kind of look around a little bit. I head back. And here comes that couple I was talking to. They come
Oh,
up,
nice.
and they're like, "You motivated us to finish." And I was like,
We're also from Sweden.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah.
"Our accent is molded."
Shall last mile turn to Swedish. Yeah, for sure.
Oh man.
Work.
Work.
Did you encounter any wildlife, scary or otherwise?
I saw some deer. There's the marmots up there are gnarly.
Oh yes.
Like
Really?
they will just they're very well fed because they will go into your pack and just eat your shit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So if you put your pack down, like you don't even have that long. Like if you put your pack down, you turn around, there's a like they know how to undo zippers.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
know they'll eat through the actual cloth and just start
What's
going
a
to town.
marmot?
Do you actually like hit them? Like fucking smack them to get them away from it?
I just kept my pack on. I just kept moving.
Right.
There you go. They kind of look like
they're
a
cute.
groundhog. A
Yeah,
little bit.
groundhog
Yeah.
sort of rodent.
This is a very visual episode.
I like how Carter's like, and do you get to hit him?
Yeah, do you get to fucking kick
I
them?
might hike this mountain.
You go up with a little rubber mallet and they pop up and you do it
Right.
and a bunch of tickets come out. You take it to the bottom.
I've been training for this my whole life. Yeah.
So it's like a bigger, smarter squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like-
Cute. Yeah, this is a.
It's
I
like
love
a
a chubby rodent.
It's like a squirrel that drinks nothing but bum energy.
He's angry.
Yeah, when I went hiking at Philmont's Boy Scout Ranch when I was 14, and they had chipmunks everywhere, and they referred to them as mini bears because their sense of smell is as acute as a bear. So they can absolutely, if you have Mike and Ike's in your fucking pockets,
They're going for it.
they'll go for it. Yeah, fearless, absolutely fearless. Small rodents.
When I was hallucinating real bad, every rock was a snake. Like that was pretty hard to like
So this
because you're
is-
like fuck. You know,
This
like
is Santana at Woodstock.
Like when you think like hallucinate, you're like, oh, I don't know, it'll be kind of swimmy. Like, I don't know. It'll think it'll be
No.
kind of like it was like full blown.
it was
Bad trip.
And
Yeah.
also too like you have to drive back down. It's like a 13-mile road to get back to town.
That part's super disconcerting too.
So I'm driving. I'm like, why does no one talk about it? It looks like Banksy did art around here. Like I was just,
Oh my god.
like in hindsight, like if that guy was allowed on like a normal street road, you'd be
Yeah.
like, that guy should go to jail.
Yeah.
And instead, I'm just like, I climbed a mountain.
I like how all your hallucinations are as part of where just like people don't talk about this. This should be like news.
Why isn't Diane Sawyer here?
Why am I discovering everything for the first
That's
time?
how I feel about realizations about how the world is as opposed to current events. It's like they don't tell you that.
Where the hell is Stone Phillips?
How come no one's talking about this rock looks like Marilyn Manson album cover? It's so weird.
And wrapping up the news tonight, if you hike Mount Whitney, you will trip balls, as some people say, without drugs. We have a reporter on the scene.
Yeah. No,
No one's talking about this.
yeah. I was only kind of kidding about like the whole like religious epiphany thing because that is a thing. Like when you go back and look at like the origins of cults, a lot of
Oh,
times
yeah.
it's guys who just go up into the mountains and go fucking nuts.
Yeah, because I think it is the change in oxygen, and I think it's just fasting is a big part of being in a cult. It's like don't eat, so
Yeah.
you like listen to me more.
Straight up.
Right.
Yeah, so when I hike, I don't like to stop because then that's when I lose motivation.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
just like, if I start, I can't stop till it's done.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't stop and eat something unless I have it like right here next to me. And then
Yeah.
after a while, you're like, I got 5 more miles. If I stop now, I don't know if I get back up.
Yeah.
So I just kept going, and by the end of it, I was out of my mind.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about on this show the Lemurians' legend of Mount Shasta, where they believe that the inside of Mount Shasta is like West Coast Atlantis. It's this lost civilization filled with these like 10-foot tall blonde beings. And after you're describing that, I'm like, yeah, I bet they did see them.
Sure did.
I bet for sure they had
Yeah.
a fucking conversation with the Lemurians. That's not surprising
And
at
they're
all.
like, do you know Ozzy? Have him put out that record.
yeah. Yeah.
See, that's the thing. It's like I just want to like load my subconscious with enough cool shit to like be kind of bleeding out.
Yeah,
so, like,
yeah.
during that, like you're like seeing like Ozzy.
I was about
and
to
stuff,
say,
like, stuff that your subconscious is filled with. I'm like, I just want to feed my
I
subconscious
talked
cool
to
shit.
I talked to a 10-foot tall Edgar Winter, and he was telling me the mountain is high, the valley is low, and you're you're confused on which way to go.
You don't want to be there and be like, all my coworkers were there, but they had snake heads. It's like, you don't want to think about
Actually,
that shit.
That is great. That's reassuring about your subconscious that it's interesting. That would be terrible.
Well, I had a really interesting meeting with HR on the way down from the mountain.
All the rocks were Helen trying to get me to sign a birthday card.
The principal that was mean to me was there.
I had to watch a sexual harassment training video on the way down. It's good information. I get why it's important.
But no one's talking about this.
Where's the reporters, man?
Oh, man.
Where's Connie Chung, man?
What it really was my thing is I was thinking like I must be the first person to notice this. Or other people would have said something.
You're a prophet. You're a prophet.
It's so cool.
Oh, man. God, that's fucking gnarly, dude.
Love it.
Now that I've done Mount Whitney, my whole thing is how many 14ers can I do?
Yeah.
But a friend of mine didn't know what that meant.
14,000 feet.
Yeah, some people were like 14 miles, and I was like, no.
No.
So there's, I think,
It might be 14 miles, but it's elevation. Yeah, straight up.
so I'm trying to do White Mountain next, which is supposed to be the easiest 14er to do, but it's really hard to get to.
Is that what that one's in California as well?
Yeah, almost all of them are in the Eastern Sierras. Almost all but Mount Shasta are basically they're all right there.
Oh, yeah.
So some of them are harder than others. Some of them require actual rope climbing. So
Jesus.
I don't know how to do any of that shit.
Are easy hikes even like fun anymore? Like,
Oh, for sure, yeah.
what would you say is the best easy hike that you've been on?
Best easy hike? I've been doing one in Burbank called Stowe Canyon.
Okay.
It's easy in that it's just a fire road, but it's still a lot. You can put in as many miles as you want. You can go to all these different radio towers.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah.
So you can go all the way up to like Verdugo Peak.
It's like
and all this
Latuna
stuff.
Canyon and all that
Yeah,
shit.
it's right on the other side of that. Yeah.
Speaking of catches on fire all the time.
Yes, exactly. And it's a fun hike in that like it's easy and you'll probably be there by yourself, but it's kind of a bummer because every time I've gone, it's like you go to look out at downtown or whatever. It's just so hazy. You're like, I'm looking at a white sheet of paper. Like, you can't see anything.
Yeah, I've driven up to Mount Wilson in the winter when it was actually clear enough to see, and that was pretty amazing.
Mount Wilson is not an easy hike, but I love that hike because it's so hard. Like it's I've done it 7 times this year.
God damn.
And it's each time is always fuck. How'd I do that?
Yeah,
I'm trying to look at the last one. I did this fun one in Angeles National Park. What's it called? Mount V, starts with a V. Vetter Mountain.
Oh, I don't know that one.
It's cool. It's like it's like a 4-mile hike or whatever. Very like mostly flat, but like you get to this Firewatch lookout. And
I love those. Yeah.
dude, it's so cool.
And whatever you do, don't call it daughter.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying, man?
Can't find a Vetter trail.
History story to share that involves the Sierra Nevada mountains and a lot of hiking. This comes from one of my favorite eras, of course, the late 1970s. So this is Greg Nichols writing for Men's Journal and John Long writing for, I'm sure you have this magazine, Climbing.
I used to, yeah.
So on December 8th, 1976, John Glisky and John Nelson left Las Vegas piloting a twin-engine Howard 500 aircraft. The Howard contained 1,500 gallons of fuel for long hauls at high speeds. Glisky and Nelson crossed the border, flew into Baja California, where they landed on an airstrip. And later that night, under the cover of darkness, a crew loaded that plane with 6,000 pounds of Mexican red-haired marijuana known as Mota Magic.
Oh,
This was
Mota Magic?
Mota, M-O-T-A.
Oh, okay.
This was the quote-unquote good shit in 1976. So I am positive this was dirt fucking weed.
yeah,
now.
this is Kill Bill in your pappy's day.
Yeah.
Back then, if weed had a hair on it and it wasn't just like brownish,
Yeah.
that was gold.
Oh, yeah.
That was gold.
If boomers weren't all smoking schwiggity swag back then, trickling economics would have been gone a long time ago.
Yeah.
Before becoming a drug smuggler, John Glisky had flown helicopters in the Vietnam War. Him and his partner were headed to Washington State, where their buyers awaited the premium weed in 5-kilo bricks, tightly bound in plastic and stacked together in large burlap sacks labeled frijoles.
Yeah, as in holy frijoles. frijoles, right? Yeah.
Right.
In case they get pulled over and someone's like, oh, yeah, that's a bunch of square beans.
We're delivering a lot of red-haired beans to people.
Well, it does say so on the box.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have a good
All right, have a good one, guys. No reason to lie about 6,000 pounds of beans. Makes sense.
So Glisky and Nilsson took off before dawn on December 9th, and after crossing back into U.S. airspace, they flew just off the coast of California. Halfway up the state, Glisky killed the running lights and turned sharply inland, flying low so as to avoid the radar, and the plane had soon reached the foothills of the mighty Sierra Nevada mountains. So, about a month later, it's January of 1977. Two young waiters at the Ahwahnee Hotel in Yosemite National Park.
That's way further away. Yeah.
They took acid and decided to set out on snowshoes for an overnighter in the backcountry of Yosemite.
As you do.
I love January. Acid, snowshoes.
We're in a place that's very harsh and difficult to survive with your full mind.
Yes, yeah.
Let's take some acid and see what happens.
I want to do the Revenant, but on acid.
Yeah.
If you're local, that probably seems somewhat normal.
No, these are like very experienced climbers, but
I skipped the acid part and just went straight into psychosis.
Yeah, that's what I was also thinking when you were telling that story. I knew I was going to read that. I was like, God damn, this is just your whole head. Just
I will say, a little ayahuasca does take the edge off a bear attack.
Oh, I could fight a bear if I got my.
It's like it's not even happening to you. It's happening to that guy down there.
Is that bear attacking me, or are we becoming one?
Yeah.
You tell me, my furry friend.
Hey, man, you got bear mace. I got mescaline, bro.
Maybe my spirit animal just wants to be more of me.
We're melding, bro.
So 6 miles out, they found an airplane wing and a debris trail. Hydraulic oil was still dripping from the frayed lines, soiling the snow below. Once the acid wore off, they went back to the valley and alerted the Rangers. Agents from NTSB, FAA, Customs, and the DEA all quickly assembled in the Yosemite Valley. Customs sent a Vietnam-era Huey helicopter from San Diego to shuttle the feds to the crash site
From
at
San Diego? That is a long flight.
I know, yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Military base.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's one closer by. What is that, Brandenburg or whatever?
Yeah, they don't have
Vandenberg.
They don't have the Vietnam helicopters
guess.
there.
Yeah. They just have the little helicopters.
Yeah, they had just come back from Vietnam. Like, we just got these back.
Not to harp on this, but like, who does before you do illegal shit, you're supposed to do a huge rail of coke like Scarface. Like, you don't take a hallucinogen and then start tripping when you're in the paddy wagon later.
They're like, nah, man, that's cliche. Let's try it this way.
Well, they had just happened upon this crash site, basically.
Yeah, the trip guys are just some random guys.
Yeah. They were just the guys that found it. They were shuttling the feds using the Huey up to the crash site, Lower Merced Pass Lake, 16 miles from Yosemite Valley. Over the following days, federal officers hauled about 3,000 pounds of the marijuana out of the plane wreck. Since the crash, the lake had frozen over, and divers couldn't extract the bodies of Glisky and Nelson because they were frozen under the water in the cockpit.
But then they lost half of it?
No, they pulled. Well, here's what happened. They got half of it out, but then logistics and the forecast of an approaching snowstorm shut down the operation. So they got the hell out of there. So they had pulled 3,000 of the 6,000 pounds out, and now the feds are like, "Oh shit, it's going to snow on us. We might get trapped here. We'll deal with it in the spring." So they left.
For the thaw.
Yes, straight up. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So given the waist deep snow and marathon trudge from the valley, the park superintendent chose to wait for spring thaw to complete their recovery. So now there's just 3,000 pounds of weed
and 2 dead bodies.
and 2 dead bodies in a lake in the middle of Yosemite. It's winter of 77 now, and you can imagine the mentality of hikers, generally speaking, now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, think of that back then. It is just straight up the hippiest hippies who ever hippied.
Yeah, there's going to be 2 dead bodies by the time the feds get there. Everything else will be.
So John Glisky's wife, Pam, had received no information about her husband except that the plane had crashed somewhere in Yosemite. Glisky's attorney, Jeffrey Steinborn, was alerted that his client was dead. Steinborn hated Glisky, but he was still in love with his wife.
What?
And so, as a favor to his old flame, he drove a rental car to Yosemite and was able to get the lowdown on the dead pilots and the abandoned weed salvage operation from eavesdropping on federal agents at a nearby bar.
This is a bad movie.
This story has everything. It has everything I love 70s, where it's like drug dealer and his lawyers involved. The lawyer's fucking the wife. There's weed.
Why is no one talking about this?
Why is talking about this? Yeah. Why is just up to climbing in Men's Journal. This should be on to the nightly news.
Instead, it's all about the election.
Yeah. So on his last night in Yosemite, the lawyer noticed a fire burning in a campground nearby. He lit up some tie stick and sauntered towards the trees. Just got getting the shittiest weed.
Again, this is already back to last week's episode. This is why I would want to go to the 70s.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. So he walks towards the fire he sees, and he found about a dozen young climbers around a fire. And he passed his joint around and told them a fantastic story about an airplane full of dope at Lower Merced Lake Pass.
Gather round, all ye climbers, and listen to me.
Straight up. I love that they didn't have any suspicion that he was a fucking cop.
Yeah, right.
I'd be like, get out of here, you fucking narc. So this
Another traveler, man.
yeah. So this is a quote from the lawyer. I knew John and Jeff were dead, but I just had this romantic notion that somebody should smoke that beautiful weed those guys were bringing back from Mexico.
It would be ruined.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it would be a shame, man. Be a shame to pass it up, man.
so 4 climbers made their way up to Lower Merced Pass Lake, the elevation 9,000 feet, and it was snowing on and off. They got to the wreck site before dawn. They walked across the frozen lake to the plain, and reaching into a slushy hole
No.
next to the cockpit, they began pulling out what looked like plastic-wrapped hay bales. They hauled the bales into the moonlight, broke them open. Still disbelieving, they studied it under their headlamps, sniffed it, ate it, and finally smoked it. The legends were true. The crashed airplane was indeed bursting
Like a
with
Willie Nelson song.
straight up. It was bursting with hundreds of pounds of Mexican weed that would come to be known as airplane.
But
Wow.
I'm trying to understand their rationale of like, okay, there's a bunch of weed up there. There's only 4 of us.
Uh-huh.
Let's go hike very, very far and find 3,000 pounds of something that needs to be carried back.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, you go up there to test the waters. First,
Yeah.
you know, be like, is this an urban legend?
This is a
And then
reconnaissance.
you get there and you're like, is this a prank?
This
Then
is-
you start eating weed, which does not do anything. It does not get you high at all. And then you're like, I think I'll smoke this weed that has been frozen and is definitely wet.
One way to
When
tell.
you know when
man.
you light something frozen on fire and it starts dripping water?
I feel like one of those guys is like, anybody else getting like cadaver off of this?
I would be salty. Be a salty
Yeah.
flavor.
We'll address the flavor in a moment, but the storm that led the feds to abandon the recovery effort never came. And it was actually a little bit warm that spring, and since rangers never stationed anyone to stand guard, the feds were none the wiser that first team of climbers ended up making 4 trips in as many days to ransack the Howard 500. Each time they threw out a bale, another bobbed to the surface. So it's like a Pez dispenser of fucking giant bags of weed. Just they're pulling it out, another one comes up.
This was an episode of Lost, wasn't it?
So word got out, and soon the gold rush was on. Throughout the early spring of 1977, a steady stream of climbers were tromping the 32-mile round trip up to the lake and back. Some teams returned with upwards of 200-pound loads, and
Oh my God.
which could fetch upwards of $50,000 on the open market. In just over a week, more than $500,000 of weed had been hauled out of there.
This reminds me of like how like if you watch Seinfeld now, you're like, all of these episodes could not happen if you just had a cell phone. It's like, none of this would happen because we have dispensaries.
Yes,
now. Like
yeah,
nobody
no one would do
this.
it.
Yeah.
So once all of the relatively easy to get stuff had been taken out, it was time to start pulling weed from under the ice. So people began hiking in with chainsaws that they rented from local lumberjacks.
Oh my God.
Wow.
For several days, people walked around the lake with buzzing saws. They'd pick a spot, dig in with the chainsaw, and if the green stuff shot up from the chain, they knew where to dig. So they're just walking on a frozen lake covered in snow, just like, all right, let's give it a try. And then
Dude, this is like someone who comments on these YouTube videos is like actually actual fucking past history. Like this is a story they would tell.
They say weed's not addictive.
Yeah, right.
Man, I don't go hiking 32 miles for nothing.
It's the return on my investment, man.
One guy even picked up where the feds left off and returned with a wetsuit. He ended up finding even more weed underwater, as well as Glisky's attaché case full of money. So one guy, because
that's the real prize.
yeah, hell yeah, it didn't. I couldn't figure out how much he found, but
Of course,
you know.
he's not going to report that.
No, fuck no. Soon, all across Yosemite Valley and in small towns nearby, in tents, cabins, bungalows, bathrooms, and garages, tons of waterlogged weed was drying out under heaters.
Oh, God.
That's when the marauders discovered a small problem.
Uh-oh.
The fuel cells on the Howard burst on impact, and some of the weed was absolutely drenched in aviation fuel.
Whoa.
Even if you couldn't smell the gas initially, you'd find out the moment you tried to light it when a flame-like blowtorch leapt from the bowl.
Jet fuel can't melt Steely Dan.
That's why they were calling it airplane, because it's like them firing up the Batmobile. Nonetheless, I know, you just imagine some guy like burning his eyebrows off or
Your
some shit.
dad's friend.
Yeah.
This is such a funny thing about the feds dealing with drugs too. Is like they pulled $500,000 of marijuana from this plane. It's like, no, that's probably like $10,000 once you find out what it's actually fucking worth.
Right.
Well, Sam, it says, nonetheless, the tainted goods fetched top dollar up and down the West Coast.
God damn it.
Climbers who didn't have 2 dimes to rub together the week before streamed back into the valley. One had left for Berkeley in a shitty car stuffed to the windows with wet gas weed. And
Hey man, want to smoke some shit that you'll die if you hit?
and only 10 days later, he was back in Yosemite driving a Lincoln Continental convertible complete with fuzzy dice in the rearview mirror.
Most 1970s thing I've ever heard.
Like just
Superfly playing out of the back.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Like, even if it doesn't like explode in your hand, wouldn't it like poison you?
Yes, absolutely.
Everyone in this story has
It's cancer now. Yes, they're all dead of cancer.
Or
Graveyard.
it's like you meet an old hippie and you're like, damn, you're a burnout. What happened? Oh, you're
Airplane.
smoking jet fuel.
Dude, I was smoking airplane, bro.
Yeah, back in the 70s,
Now-
we had to hike 32 miles to huff jet fuel weed, and now they got hippity hop music.
Another guy rolled up on a chopped up Harley wearing a buckskin suit. He was accompanied by a Latvian model who spoke almost no English and wore almost no clothes. Like, not to disparage hikers, but it's just so funny to imagine, like, hey man, I'm one with the mountain, bro. And then 2 weeks later, he is just literally showing up like
That
a
is
like
not
a
what
pimp.
modern hikers are like. Like, they're all like dudes with like little wrist computers being like,
Yeah.
oh, bro, the amount of incline, I used all my uppies on the way up, and I don't know, about, like they're
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all checking their heart rate on the way down. They're like, "Hey, how you doing? How you doing?"
yeah. But back in the 70s, this was just people who like to
It was-
obviously
yeah, it was
drop acid and commune with
There's a
nature.
guy who looked like he played bass for the Doobie Brothers and with a machete. Yeah.
But then comes back and they were talking about all these guys coming in and dropping like $800 at restaurants, and again in 1977 money, like buying cognac and like steaks for everybody and shit
Yeah.
like that.
Another
Like,
round of steaks, man.
yeah, straight up. Other hikers spent their money on extravagant climbing trips to France and Asia and blowouts that are still the stuff of legend in the Yosemite Valley. It is likely the biggest windfalls exceeded over $20,000 for some people.
nice.
well, I mean, you can have
So
a nice time for 20K, but I don't know if it becomes a thing of legend.
The
For
climbers
drug dealers.
Yeah.
You make $20,000 one time.
selling
you're a hero.
selling the worst weed
Yes,
of all time.
Sell it all profit.
Yeah, all profit for just
Dead bodies left in your trail.
yeah. Cadaver and airplane gas flavored weed.
Look, man, I'm an avid outdoorsman, but if someone was like, "Hear me out, it's 32 miles, we need a chainsaw," I'm like, "Nope, not going."
So
32 miles
No,
there?
You don't understand. We're going to chainsaw into a frozen lake.
Oh yeah, it's super not going.
and we might find a body.
I hear there's an attaché case. Oh, okay.
Legend tells of it, bro.
I love you guys, man.
Dude, I met this Latvian girl. If I came back with some cash, she would ride a motorcycle with me for sure.
Do you want to hit this face burning weed?
Dude, there's a finger in this one, dude.
It's part of it, bro. You got to smoke the finger.
We call it Badfinger, like that band I like.
Man,
They got found by the Beatles, man.
you ever think about shit like that?
Why isn't anyone talking
isn't anyone
about
reporting
Badfinger? Why isn't everybody talking about Badfinger, man?
Dude, seriously.
No, Paul wrote this one.
George is actually playing guitar on it.
Why isn't Ted Koppel reporting about this?
I don't know. Because he's a narc.
He's a fucking narc, man.
He's part of the system, man.
So the climbers tend to
We're the counterculture. This is the stuff of legend.
So the climbers tended to live fast, and in most cases, the money didn't last long. On April 13th, a
Live
date
fast, die middle age. That's what a lot of them did.
with gas weed cancer in your fucking body.
Do you think people talking about laced weed back in the day, they're just accidentally smoking jet fuel, and they're like, somebody put PCP in this.
Yeah.
They're probably like bonus.
Yeah.
Nice.
So April 13th, a day that would be known in history as Big Wednesday, which what a great pothead name.
Sure.
Dude, I mean,
Yeah.
we was doing good till Big Wednesday,
Big
man.
Wednesday fucked it up for us, man.
Oh, dude.
So on Big Wednesday,
Bumming me out, dude.
another Huey lowered into the lower Merced Pass with 6 Rangers. Quote, by all reports, it was like ant scattering, recalls a radio operator at the time. The people up there had created this infrastructure, kind of like the Viet Cong put in some areas of Vietnam. And I'm like, get this guy away from the park rangers.
Whoa.
The fact that he's thinking of hikers is like, this is just like Charlie.
He saw some shit. He was probably there.
Yeah.
You weren't there, man. It was Big Wednesday.
Da Nang was Big Tuesday.
Yeah.
So they created infrastructure like the Viet Cong had put in some areas of Vietnam. Makeshift housing and tents, fire pits, all sorts of tarps. And I'm like, that's just camping. Yeah. Chill.
They were like Charlie. They had tents, dehydrated meals,
Dave, you got to chill the fuck out.
REI memberships, shoes that can do at least 6 miles, marshmallows placed on sticks with Hershey chocolate. Why isn't anyone talking about it?
Yeah, where's Walter Cronkite? The war in Yosemite Valley is unwinnable.
Keep pulling up newscasts.
Yeah.
Where's Edward Murrow?
Yeah. No, he literally says they picked up digging equipment wherever they could. This is real caveman technology. And I'm like, again, camping. You're 16
Shovels.
miles
Yeah.
into the bush of fucking Yosemite. Yes.
This guy would be like, I was at Walmart. It was just like the Nang. Everything was in aisles. There was tunnels.
The Park Service was embarrassed that the crash site had been discovered. Rangers were posted along the trail leading the way from the lake in order to catch people fleeing. For all the melee, though, only 2 people were arrested. They were told to report to the park's federal magistrate the next day, but the arrest was later nullified thanks to a due process violation. No one was ever convicted for their involvement in the incident that went down in history as Dope Lake.
It was the greatest summer of our lives.
Straight up, yeah.
That's why you don't fucking talk to cops, man.
Yeah.
They don't read you your Miranda. It's not due process.
So after the siege, 2 Rangers who had also served in Vietnam were given rations and equipment and sent to guard the lake. The pair lived in a tent for 17 days with 38 special pistols at the ready.
With 38 special albums at the
Yeah,
ready.
that too. Yeah. Rocking into the night.
And the emergency lava lamps being broken out.
And somebody talking about being like, I think that's an unreleased 38 special album. Why did they put that one out? Why isn't anyone talking about it?
Like, it's just so funny how many like guys straight out of Vietnam, they're just like, hey, take care of this park where everyone's chill theoretically.
Welcome
No,
back
it
to
makes
Vietnam.
perfect sense.
Will you go guard
How
a lot
many-
of weed?
How many cops? How many cops are ex-military? It makes-
Not enough. The ex-military ones are less likely to, fill people full of holes. It's all the high school fucking losers.
Traffic cops.
Yeah, totally.
But what's hilarious is like park rangers now are like they're 90 years old.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I just went to the Channel Islands and there was like a British man in his 90s. He was like, all right, if you're going to go hiking here, look out for foxes. What, foxes? And I was like, should you be here?
Yeah, who's going to help you? If you park, use the QR code.
Lyme disease is a problem.
The quote from this is Jim Tucker, one of the two rangers. Quote: "We caught about 6 parties going up to the lake. We separated them and interrogated them. Most were stop in the name of nature. Most were not climbers. Word had leaked out by them, though.
Pretty hot under these lanterns, isn't it?
He's making shadow puppets with his hands in the light.
Turn the lights off and the posters glow in the dark.
Don't make me turn the lights off and put my flashlight under my face and tell a scary story.
Look, a bat. Look at that.
Good cop, spooky cop. And they say he still haunts this very ground today.
He looked something like this.
So now it's like word is out about this. So these guys are just goalkeeping, not even experienced hikers, just anybody's like, ooh, we get gas weed up here. So for 2 months, rangers rotated in to keep watch over the lake. Hopeful arrivals kept showing up with visions of a lake full of pot. Some were woefully ill-prepared for spring hiking at high elevation. One group got lost for a week without adequate food before finally stumbling across a trail. It wasn't until...
A week?
Yeah.
I've been lost for like a bit, but like a week?
Apparently.
Yeah.
That's like you've gone missing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. In Yosemite, especially. Jesus. So it wasn't until mid-June that the lake thawed suitably for a salvage operation. On June 16th, a local salvage company began pulling the fuselage and the occupants out of the water. The NTSB deemed the crash an accident.
So which one was Big Wednesday? Like what? That's just
Big Wednesday is when they sent in a Huey and chased everyone out of this lake. They were like, get the fuck out. So, because everybody had just been kind of going around, they'd take these big hikes around where the people were stationed.
Everyone's smoking gas weed in this beatific utopia.
Yeah,
and
straight
they're
up.
Like, all right, you fucking hippies, get out of here.
Hippies are bad at naming things. Like Big Wednesday should be the day you found the most shit.
Right. Big Wednesday is the day the party was over, man.
Bummer Wednesday.
Yeah.
Bummer Wednesday.
Wednesday,
Yeah. Stone Cold Bummer Wednesday.
We all had to go back to our jobs, man.
Yeah, our jobs of sitting in a tent and hiking.
I didn't want to work at that gas station anymore, man.
Once you've had that jet fuel, you can't go back to auto fuel.
That fucking airplane, dude. The Men's Journal article is awesome. I kind of excerpted a lot of that from it. It's much, much longer. It talks about Jim Liskey and floats the conspiracy theory that before he crashed, he did tell his wife that he found something wrong with like the fuel lines in his plane. And he was like, I don't think this was natural wear and tear. And the DEA for sure knew about this fucking guy. So the wife actually still believes, Pam, who was boning his lawyer, she still thinks that it was, the DEA set him up to fly into the
That
mountains.
or they were like, bro, grab the fuel line, sprinkle it on the weed. That's the stuff. What? I'm losing pressure.
I'd like to meet the one guy who stopped smoking weed after the jet fuel weed ran out. He's like, it's just not the same anymore, man.
Of course. Yeah, definitely.
There's no risk of me losing my eyebrows. It's just not the same.
Or that guy now is like, you don't know what's in kids' weed these days. It's more powerful.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Top Gun? That's what my pipe looked like. Oh, man. Well, that's a story
Wow.
of Dope Lake.
It's a great story.
I want to go there now.
Now I do too. Like I gotta say, that's not on all trails. That's not listed as a place you can hike to. Yeah,
I use all trails as well, and I would save that one. I would download
all
that map.
trails, Dope Lake Trail. Nope, it's not coming up.
Yeah. Have you ever hiked past any plane wrecks up in the mountains?
Yeah, there is one up on. Is it on Gorgonio? There's one that there's a couple of ones that you can walk by them. Yeah.
Yeah.
They tell you not to though. They're like respect it's their final
right.
place,
Right. Yeah, we at Philmont up on, I think it's Mount Raton, they have it's like an old, I think a B-52 bomber. That
shit.
crashed. It's like
Wow.
a military aircraft that crashed up there, and we hiked up there one day. And then also on Mount Cheaha, Alabama's tallest mountain. And to give you an idea of how tall Cheaha is, you can drive a car to the top of it. So, but I have hiked it
I have
several
friends that would do
times.
that while tripping Robitussin.
Dude, they got a hotel with a pool up there at the top, man.
Dude, they used to call it Plateau Sigma, man.
Plateau Sigma. Hell yeah. But yeah, there's a small plane crash there, and one of my memories of being there in Boy Scouts. This will tell you the exact year. John Denver had just died.
Oh, yeah.
and so
In a
all-
plane crash.
Yes, and we're walking by and we see this old plane crash that's probably been up there since the 80s at this point, and all of our scout leaders gathered around and started singing Country Roads as a very dark fucking joke because he had died like a week
Jesus.
earlier. So I think my dad might have initiated that one. So anyway, shout out to him and Dr. Bliss. Y'all are hilarious. But yeah, Dope Lake. I want to go check that out at some point. It's Lower Merced Lake.
Yeah, I
Past
know.
Lake.
I know where the area is.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know if this is still true. I had a friend who lived there for a while, and she ended up moving away. And it's all cartel run now. Where it's at.
Oh yeah, Murder
Yeah,
Mountain.
yeah. It's all very
yeah.
yeah. A lot of like people who just look like farmers, but they are not. They're farmers. They're growing. They're growing the new version of airplane.
Yes,
now.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, we
But
call
then
it
they-
Top Gun,
yeah,
man.
we call it Maverick, man.
Yeah.
It's better than Top Gun.
We call it Val Kilmer, man.
So fucking gnarly. You stop talking.
Yeah, I know.
This is
Gives you
that
mouth
Bryan
cancer.
Cranston, man. Hits you later in life.
This one has eras, dude.
This weed has eras. Just like Taylor Swift.
We have a second.
Also, before we start this,
No, go
segment,
for it, Rob.
Can we not do this first question?
Yeah, sure.
It's so bad.
Well, now I got to know what question it is.
It was the one of the songs because Sam just likes short songs.
No, that's not true at
Yeah.
all. Favorite song over 6 minutes? No, it's just one of those questions that what's the discussion from it? This is like one of those things if somebody asked this on their dating app, you'd be like, I'm not talking to this person.
Well, I guess it could inspire the question of what's too long of a song.
Yeah, there we
What's-
go.
Yes.
There is no length that's too long.
Oh, there
know.
is though. Have you ever listened to Sleep's Dope Smoker?
That's on my list.
Well, that's not
Yeah.
that's not a good
It's an
song.
hour-long
It's an
song.
hour-long one song. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is one riff for an hour.
No, that's not a good song then.
You get to the end of that song and you're like, I made it.
Yeah. I was gonna bring up Mountain Jam by the Allman Brothers. That's 33 minutes long.
Oh, I had a bunch for this one.
Yeah,
There's some
hell yeah.
Swan songs that are
That's
like
what I'm
30
saying.
minutes.
Yeah, it's
Ugh.
just Sam don't like
Ugh.
long songs, man. This is
I
a-
listen to 30-minute long DJ Screw freestyle tracks. It's not the song length. It's this question is so goddamn boring.
He celebrates
Hit me in-
Viper's entire catalog.
Hit me in the head with a shovel before I get into a discussion of like, this is like, what's your top favorite play to run when you're down 3 yards in the fourth quarter? It's like, what the fuck? Why do
I don't think this one's as
why
niche
do-
as that.
Why do we
Say.
need to have all these like, I don't know. This just doesn't make any sense to me.
You just
this
don't
doesn't
like-
make sense.
He likes them quick songs. He's a 3-minute kind of guy.
All right. What's the ideal song length, though?
There
What's
is
like if you're
none.
going to listen to songs, because I think about this. I make a lot of
Yeah.
Spotify playlists.
Yeah, exactly.
What? Because it's OCD and shit.
Yeah,
But, like,
yeah.
if you're populating a playlist with songs, what's like too long of a song?
It depends on what the playlist is for.
I would agree
Yeah.
with
If
that,
it's
yeah.
if it's driving around,
It's driving around.
Then
I'm saying like nothing longer than 6.
If see, I'm more of a jam
Because I
band.
want to get a couple in there before I get to my destination.
Yeah, see, I'm more like jam band oriented, so I cut it off at like 8. 8
I see before anything before 10. If we're getting into double digits, that's like a long drive.
That's too
Not
much.
like a 15
That's too
minute to
much.
and fro.
Yeah. By the way, Dr. Shawnee is the one who asked this question that Sam doesn't want to answer, but I desperately want to talk
Refuse.
about.
Refuse.
You can take a pass.
This is the thing. Why would you put this constraint on art? It makes it.
It's not a
It makes
constraint.
it so to be like, oh, you can only choose a favorite thing, but from this category. Like it
Yeah.
fucking matters at all. Or like, what's the point of like a song being too long on a playlist? Who the fuck cares?
It's about vibes, man.
It's like, are you into statistics? Where you're like, I need to hear 2.5 songs on this.
no,
It's
it's
like,
about-
just enjoy your fucking life.
But there's people who like will make playlists that are certain beats because like
Curating
beats per
vibes,
minute.
dude. Yeah.
No, because they'll be like, I heard a runner say this. He's like, "Oh, all of my songs have to be at like my pace,
Yeah,
Right.
so,
yeah.
so that you're always running to it." And I'm like, "That's a weird constraint to like."
Well, that's why you don't get your fucking news from TikTok because you wind up with dumb shit like that, where you're like, I heard that the biological rhythm is 120 beats per minute, so I only listen to DJ Avasi, took a pill in Ibiza on repeat at 1.5 speed because that makes it better. 1.5.
for no more than 5 minutes.
No more.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah.
Don't. It can't be.
My shout out I mentioned already. Allman Brothers Mountain Jam. Fucking
Yeah.
live at Fillmore East.
I've been really getting into the Allman Brothers lately. I fucking love them.
Fuck yeah, man. That's Dickie Betts coming alive for 33 minutes, Sam. That's
Dude.
fucking Dwayne Allman right before
Especially
he
them-
died, man.
Them live tracks, dude.
And my Uncle Steve was there, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
at the
went-
Fillmore East.
I went camping when I was in
Wow.
when I was in high school, and I
He was
bought-
also at the
he was
the
also
gas
at
weed.
the gas
The
weed.
gas weed emporium.
Yeah, yeah.
Opened up a bag. Everyone's all, is that airplane?
But I bought the deluxe edition CD of At Fillmore East, and my Uncle Steve was like, "Oh, I was there. There was a bomb threat," and I was like, "What?" And I pulled out the little booklet because they had a big booklet because it was the deluxe edition. I was reading about it. I was like, "God damn it, there was a fucking bomb threat." So they didn't start playing till like 3 a.m. and they jammed till like 8 in the morning.
Whoa.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you hear on At Fillmore East. No, I mean, I'm running these down real quick because I do think it's an interesting question because I worked in radio in college briefly, and long song usually means the DJ is taking a shit.
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
But then back when it was physical media, how long a song could be was how long it could fit on a
45.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once they had big 12-inch albums, you could play a lot longer shit.
But now, if you're a live DJ, you just hit play and you pretend like you're doing stuff to your laptop.
yeah, that's right.
And
yeah.
every song is 90 seconds of the song.
Yeah. But a pre-recorded thing that you vibe out to for hours.
Yeah. But yeah, I mentioned television, Marquee Moon. That's my first one. Shout out
That's
to
a
my,
good long song.
my friend Matty P. Burned that onto a CD for me when I was in high school because he was like, "Oh, he's like a jam band guy. You might like a art punk song from 1977
Yeah.
that's 9 minutes and 58 seconds." And he was right. So I threw it on. I was like, "God damn, perfect." Yeah, shout out late great Tom Verlaine. Second, if anybody ever asks me what song they want to play when I walk out on stage doing stand up, I always say Morris Day and the Time, The Walk, baby.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, off of what time is it? 1982, 9 minutes and 32 seconds. Fucking hilarious lyrics and great ad libs. I wrote down my favorite, which is, "Damn, I'm about to walk a hole in these Stacey Adams." And another one, "Attention, everybody! I just shined my shoes. Just watch where you walk, or your life you're gonna lose." So maybe the first instance of someone threatening to kill someone off of scuffing their
Nice.
shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, number one, I mentioned this in the Discord when Dr. Shani proposed it, but Dinosaur Jr. Plans, which is just over the limit at 6 minutes and 40 seconds, but just happened to get back into that record. I was speaking to our friend of the show, Rick Wood, about this, and I was like,
He's a big farm guy. He loves farm. Yeah.
I agree with him. I'm like, I think
Farm's
this
a
is
good record.
I was like,
It rules.
yeah.
Pieces. We covered Pieces when we did the Dinosaur Jr.
Yeah.
thing. That song's so badass.
this is where I jumped on the train because I was still working in college radio, and they would just send us stuff. And we got Farm brand new in 2009, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is one of those bands you're supposed to know about." So
Yeah.
I like popped it on. I was like, "Oh fuck, this rips!" So I like all their stuff now.
Dude,
but
Dinosaur Jr. Mach 3 rules. Beyond, that's a great record too.
I'm going to see him in December.
Yeah.
Jay
playing-
Mascis in the Fog.
Oh,
Two
fuck
good
yeah.
solo records.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
More Light. That's a great
Oh,
one.
I love that one.
Hell yeah! What you got, Carter?
First one I'm going to go with the Stone Roses, I Am the Resurrection.
Oh yes,
I believe that's 8 minutes and 58 seconds.
it's first record, obviously.
First record. There's a big dance breakdown in the middle of it. It's very prototypical Britpop song for like the first 4 minutes or so. Then it has this kind of disco-y breakdown part.
Yeah.
Then it has this like beautiful, like kind of like gathering steam back up for the end.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, there's no more vocals at the end. I don't know. I could listen. It's a song I could listen to all the way through, like no skips.
Yeah,
it's the
it's
the
kind of-
Goodfellas of long songs.
It's kind of reminds me of Marquee Moon a little bit, where it does start
Yeah.
out like Marquee Moon when it starts off. Talking Heads could have done that song, but then it gets into all the weird, jazz improvisation and stuff that Tom Verlaine just showing off.
Right.
Yeah, so I love that. You can explore the space with a long song, Sam. That's the thing. That's
See, I
why
love a
it's
lot of
spooky.
bands that do a long song.
Yeah.
like
That's the thing. I like long songs. I hate this fucking question. And look, I'm not dissing you or Carter's choice, but look what's happened in the past 5 minutes.
the show has gone to shit.
Rivers has named 3 songs he's like and told stories about them. None of us had any response because why would we? And that's not anything about Rivers' choices. That's just why would anyone have a response to that?
Dr. Shani, he's
Carter
deep-
just busted out one too. Again, good
Weird.
breakdown. No,
Are you bored by this?
fuck yes.
I think that's what's
yeah.
going on here.
Hey
That's-
man, was I bored with it before it started?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's why I'm digging in, baby.
Well, now I feel self-conscious.
Oh no.
Long songs are stupid. who cares?
One of my big complaints with modern rap music is these songs are not long enough.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're all like really getting down to like 2 minutes 30 seconds. It's ridiculous.
There's a oldie by Odd Future. That's a 10-minute song, right?
Yeah,
there.
Oh,
that
yeah.
is.
There we go.
You got to get a posse track going.
A
these
posse
days.
cut. Yeah, I like Through Silver and Blood by Neurosis. That's a sick song.
Oh, nice.
That's 10 minutes. It's
Yeah.
intense as fuck.
I feel
Okay.
like there's not a Neurosis song that's really sub 6.
Yeah, they're all fucking super
Yeah,
long,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it sucks that guy, all that shit happened with. But that,
What happened?
that guy is the lead guy is not a good guy.
Oh, no.
He was marking up airplane weed like a lot.
Yeah, he was marking up Airplane Weed like a lot. But they're also like a band that like I love like that style of music, like super long metal music, like I like ISIS and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The band, not the
Yeah.
No,
Oh, no.
we know
I,
where your
yeah.
heart lies.
You know where
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm talking
I like both,
Yeah, I dig both. But like
You
it's,
can you can really blast both. They
both have some-
truck. Yeah, you can.
They both had some
Yeah.
good ones.
I love like music that's like it's for Neurosis you got to like be in a mood. You can't just like throw that shit on because it's like super intense for like 10 minutes.
Progressive metal sort of
It's
situation.
it's like
It's like
Pink Floyd.
hardcore meets metal meets
Pink
math.
Floyd.
Yeah.
Math.
It's like Pink Floyd meets like Doom meets all this crazy shit, like sound manipulation. It's crazy. All right, the last one I'll say is I like this song called "December Hunting for Vegetarian Fuckface."
Oh, hell yeah.
By this band Stars of the Lid, which is ambient music. So
Okay.
it's the chillest song with the most intense song title, but it's like 20 minutes. Like you could fall asleep to it. I
Okay.
love that kind of shit.
Nice. So what you got, Travis?
Well, I have to put "Dope Smoker" by Sleep on there.
I mean,
it's just
yeah.
you if you're going to talk about long songs and you
Yeah, I don't mention it though.
I think that's the longest
Yeah.
song most people know.
It's also too like if you're at all into stoner or sludge, like that's just it's one of those songs that you're like, do you like it? Yeah, I'm aware of it. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I've listened to all of it.
Right.
Eventually, like, but not necessarily in a sitting.
Yeah.
You know what's funny too? For a song that is that unplayable and other things, they used it in that movie Broken Flowers.
Did?
Yeah, there's like a section where
Yeah.
like some of the henchmen or whatever that Bill Murray encounters are listening to Dope Smoker by Sleep.
It's fucking Jarmusch, man.
Yeah, dude.
He
Well, that
loves
makes sense.
shit.
Jarmusch will put that in there.
Yeah.
I'll throw it because I'm a Swan apologist. I will throw in
yeah.
Mary Star of the Sea.
Swan.
Yeah.
I think that's the album everybody bought and listened to exactly once in 2000. We're
I owned it.
all right.
Oh, yeah.
I have not stopped listening.
That's
to it.
amazing.
I am apparently I am who he made that record for. I love that album. I
It's
listen
good.
to it over and over. Yeah.
Yeah, that was just one of those that we always noticed in the used section where there'd be
Really?
a million Chumbawambas and a million swans. Like, wow. This
And
was,
he's such a dick about that record. Like he won't put it on streaming. things
Yeah.
Because he's like, you all told me it was bad, so fuck it. You know,
Yeah.
and you're like, fuck you.
Such a baby.
I like it. Just put it so I don't have to rip it off of the YouTube every time.
yeah.
And then off of the latest Queens of the Stone Age record, Straight Jacket Fitting into the album. It's about 9 minutes long.
Hell yeah.
It's kind of a esoteric little wordplay fun jam.
So, Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah.
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 Hell yeah.
Piggybacking off of what Travis said, I would amend my list and put Silver Fuck by Smashing Pumpkins in there.
Oh yeah.
That's like a 9 minutes. That's a no skips.
That's a long one.
Yeah,
Hell
that's like 8 minutes or so.
You got any, Sam?
Yeah, I love classical music. I'm like, fucks.
I like Beethoven's
You
Fifth.
haven't even fucking listed one classical song. You're like, Dope Smoker's the line. Fuck you.
The Fifth Symphony.
Fuck you.
I will say I just learned that Mozart put a lot of notes about shitting. And,
Oh, yeah. Lech mein Arsch. Yeah.
I
The
want
whole-
to shit on your forehead and watch it run down your chin.
And you know who covered?
Jeepers.
You know who covered it? Insane Clown Posse covered that song for Jack White's record label, Third Man. They did a thing where, and the song starts, and he goes, "Yo, there was this guy named Mozart who talked about sucking farts, yo." And then they have a chorus going, "Lick mine ass."
A lot of ICP's old songs are over 6 minutes long. A lot of
Yeah.
old rap songs are over 6 minutes long.
Chunky Fire by Outkast, fucking long,
Dude, no, I'm talking about the ones in the 80s.
Oh yeah,
like
80s.
extended mixes of like Paid in Full and shit.
White Lines. That'd be my favorite from the 80s.
Oh, right. Yeah, of
sure.
course.
There's a
Yeah.
bunch of long ones. But look, here's the gauge for a top 3. would you entertain this conversation in real life away from a podcast?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, hell
I
yeah.
would,
Yeah.
No.
This is
no.
what I- this is-
No.
I talk on the
No.
phone with a guy from Birmingham. We talk exactly about shit like this.
No.
Same.
No.
Talked to a buddy of mine recently about something along similar lines.
I think that neurosis opinion I had is from a conversation I had with that guy.
Okay, here's another frame of reference for this. Think of what another person would react to if you brought up this conversation to them in real life.
You got the wrong friends, baby, if they don't respond to it. That's what I got to say. We were talking
Depends,
about
like,
how...
what number date is this?
I'm
You know what I mean?
I'm
Like-
such a thinker that before I answer that question, I think, why are you asking this question? and if I can't come up with a logical explanation for that, I'm off fucking board.
I think somebody might be trying to put together their playlist of like super good jams.
Yeah.
that are over,
Yeah.
like-
Somebody wanted to have their name said on the podcast.
Well, we love it. Thank you for supporting us, Dr. Shani. And
I think it was a
Thank
great
you.
question. I was excited to see it.
I think it was a great question. I love how mad it made Sam, so that's
Yeah,
why
I'm
I kept
pissed.
going with it. Yeah. Also,
Fuck this.
Also, So What by Miles Davis. That would be my other one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
When what's the what's the first
Tang, Walla Walla Bing Bang, the extended mix.
Ting Tang Walla Walla Bing Bang
That's
with
the
in a
lo-
silent way. The first side of it in a silent way.
In a
by
silent
Miles
way, yeah, hell yeah. The all the bitches brew stuff with the John McLaughlin, fuck yeah. So What? I just I appreciate that they are it's literally two notes, and then they build an entire symphony essentially off of just dum 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 doom, and then it carries over into Freddie Freeloader. Amazing, beautiful. God, we love it. We love it, right?
Do medleys count?
Medleys, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'd call side B of Abbey Road a song.
Okay.
It's all connected and shit.
Interesting though. I will
That's
put
just 'cause-
parts of that on a playlist though, not the whole thing.
Thanks for that question. We'll do this other one real quick. This one is our friend and former guest of the show, future guest of the show, Andy Wancio. Top 3 freezer aisle comfort foods.
Great top 3 question.
Yeah, now
in
this,
my opinion.
Yeah, now this one. Now I'm fucking pissed about this.
Yeah. I only eat farm to table, so I'm
Yeah.
disgusted by this.
I think frozen food is what really causes cancer.
Yeah,
So
Number 3 for me, CPK barbecue chicken pizza.
Son of a bitch. Took it stolen right out of my list.
Nasty.
So that was my pandemic go-to. I think it was Carter's as well.
Yeah.
There was a point in time where when Carter was living here, and you would open up our freezer, and boy, it was just like a
Stacked 10 high.
I
Yeah.
do
like-
remember that.
It was
I
like
do
the
remember that.
Berlin Wall made out of CPK BBQ chicken.
We acted like we had happened upon like the greatest deal in.
I'm telling you. Well, the funny part was I went back to Alabama at the end of 2020, and we had a party for the Iron Bowl at my friend's backyard. So we're all like seated far apart doing the pandemic thing. And my friend's like, "Oh yeah, I've got some pizza in the oven." I'm like, "Oh cool!" And he brought out about 6 of these fucking things, and I was like, "Oh, I can't ever
I
eat
can't
these
ever
again."
touch these. No.
The mix of barbecue sauce and cheese is deranged to me.
Oh,
still to this day.
Oh,
I
Not a
cannot-
barbecue chicken pizza guy.
Oh,
No.
I'm a freak you out. I upgrade, so I take it out, and I take it out of the film, and then
That's good.
and then I'll put down. I get some chopped onions there, and then I'll get a spiral of barbecue sauce to go on the top, and then more cheese, and then a bunch of garlic, salt, and spices. and
You're
shit.
like, you make into a pizza that, like, when you go to a fancy pizza restaurant, you see what's all the ingredients. You go, who the fuck would order this?
uh-huh.
Ugh. I'm all about jazzing up a frozen pizza, 100%.
A little razzmatazz.
Adding extra sauce is a crazy move because usually what they need is extra cheese. There's
Yo,
never enough cheese on any.
See, I
of
put
them.
both. I get
Yeah.
both.
I feel they need extra sauce, extra cheese, a different bread.
Yeah, the crust. The crust is
a
all
pizza oven.
abysmal.
Have it not be frozen. Number 2, Marie Callender's, and the one I'm shouting out specifically, cheesy chicken and rice bowl. This stuff is top notch at the low end. Marie Callender's is the Bills and the Bucks. Marie Callender's is the nicest one in prison. Is it great? No, but if you're going like Stouffer's, Hungry Man, all that shit, yeah, we put Marie's at the top. Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
I consider it on the same level as Stouffer's, and I like both of them.
yeah, Stouffer's is like the high end of the low end. And then number
Marie
1.
Callender's has a fancy box, and that does a lot of the legwork.
Yeah, that's true. And then my number 1, Trader Joe's. Just all their frozen Mexican food, Indian food, Chinese food. fucking top notch, and I
Nice.
just
Yeah.
mainly included that because they've kind of stopped doing this for cultural sensitivity reasons. But it used to be Trader Jose, Trader Ming, and Trader Giotto. God damn it!
Whoa.
Before
I remember these days.
yeah, the Italian shit was Trader Giotto, and then Kamala Harris came along and kicked Trader Giotto out of the country.
Kamala, what you doing? Is this
Yeah, I just want to do my stuff.
I want to make a sauce on a real boy. That's all I want.
We won't do Trader Ming and Trader Jose.
No.
But that is
Unless you subscribe to the Patreon.
yeah. Now here we go.
No, I'll do it. No, Trader Ming would just, hi, my name is Trader Ming.
Hey,
Right.
what's up? I've brought you some orange chicken.
If you expected anything else,
Yeah, that's your fault.
that's your fault.
Yeah. What you got, Carter?
Oh man,
I know this is near and dear to the heart, having been roommates with you for a couple of years. What?
Yeah, man. I mean, and I
Massive dunk on Carter.
No,
right
no.
there.
I'm just saying.
no, I mean, we both
No,
got
I'm
basically the
kidding.
same shit.
we
I'm
love
kidding.
we
I'm
love
kidding.
frozen food.
We do.
and I know where Carter's frozen heart is.
Oh boy, it's deep in the tundra of the
Kid.
fucking.
It's in Dope Lake.
Yeah,
It's in Dope Lake. Yeah, you could.
Mount Whirlpool.
Takes an army of hippies to with a pickaxe and a fucking dream,
You
man.
know when the barbecue chicken pizza starts shooting up from your chainsaw, you're right there.
Yeah, man. Man, I still get those every time I go to the grocery store.
Oh, they're great.
And like cause me and Carly will have like pizza nights, and like we'll like make one, and I always get a couple of the barbecue chicken ones because she doesn't like barbecue chicken. I'm like, so you don't want that one then, right?
Shout out to Carly.
Yeah. Sorry to expose our disgusting frozen food eating habits. It would be false if I didn't list that one because I get it every time I go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
That frozen food from Trader Joe's.
Yeah. It's unfuckwithable.
But I will say though, that's like the only good thing they do. I hate their produce and shit.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
fucking rip-off city
Ugh.
USA.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you want to pay $1 for a pear? If you go to the store, they're 30 cents.
Yeah.
A real grocery store.
For a rotten pear. Like
Yeah.
their produce is bad.
Yeah, and a lot of their like stunt food, they're like, it's boba flavored
Right.
ube pancakes. You're like,
Yeah.
sweet. And then you eat them, you're like, this tastes like glue.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
the prepackaged stuff. They'll have like a hit for every 4 misses, but they do have some hits. But yeah, I'll say frozen. I mean, I don't know. Just the barbecue chicken pizza from there too.
Yeah.
I love that.
I used to
mean-
get their cauliflower frozen pizza.
I get the cauliflower uncured pepperoni pizza.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
fuck with that.
with some hot sauce on the
Hasn't been
top.
vaccinated.
No, yeah. That's right. The unvaccinated pepperoni.
Yeah, yeah.
COVID denier pizza. Oh boy, it
Do
tastes
your
a
own
little.
research pizza.
Yeah, it tastes a little bitter now. A little bitter after all the facts have come out.
Yeah, Trader Rogan told me not to.
Yeah. Oh, Trader Joe Rogan.
Trader Joe Rogan told me not to get.
It's got ivermectin in the crust, guys.
Jamie, run that back.
I'll keep it at Trader Joe's and get the orange chicken, the bag of orange chicken.
Fuck yes, on the skillet.
Yeah, dude, get that and like the fucking like some fried rice. Make a
Dude.
couple meals out of that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty fucking good.
Hell yeah! What you got, Travis?
Morningstar corn dogs. This is going to be the vegan food.
Vegan one, yes.
The Morningstar corn dog is always a good choice. 'Cause
Okay.
You throw them in there and you would think they're like, it's microwaved corn dogs. It's not going to be great. It's always great.
All right.
In an air fryer is better, but
Yeah.
a microwave will work. I love the Gardein Ultimate Chicken patties or tenders. Either one will work. You throw those in an air fryer, you got an amazing
I was about
chicken
to say,
sandwich. Yeah.
we had this
Hell
is
yeah.
this is where we have an overlap. I had in my honorable mention the Gardein chicken tenders. I'll try to go like meatless for at least a couple meals out of the week, and that one it barely does anything as far as cutting down on sodium because I do toss them in buffalo sauce. But my God, as a sauce delivery system that you can feel slightly better about eating,
Right.
yeah, the Gardein
Yeah.
chicken tenders in an air fryer. Fuck yes.
The only cruelty is to yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then Craig's ice cream. If you're looking for a vegan ice cream,
Oh,
you got to go with Craig's.
Ice
Yeah.
cream, yeah.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Ice cream. I was surprised ice cream never made it to the conversation until right now. Why aren't they
Dummy,
talking
yeah.
about this?
Oh,
yeah.
In that case,
Dreamsicles.
dude, no Nestle drumsticks, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Those are quality.
Get a fucking huge thing of those. Oh man, I'll fuck up a drumstick.
What you got, Sam?
I like now that you can get like really good pints of ice cream and a huge selection.
Yeah.
So just ice cream, just
Yeah.
vaguely ice cream. You can get so many different kinds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's delicious. It's not nutritious.
And you
but-
could trick yourself into thinking it's good for you in so many
Yeah.
different ways
Be like,
here.
oh, I got a gelato this time.
Oh, this
That's-
one's made
that's-
out of cashew milk.
yeah,
that's
that's
better.
slightly
Tell you what,
better.
Give it a little chocolate sauce and some chocolate chips on that. You got yourself a little sundae.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And it's delicious. Then we got to go with frozen pizza.
Yep.
Of course. How
Solid.
can you not go with frozen pizza? And then I was going to say Stouffer's macaroni and cheese.
Okay.
The kind you put in the damn oven.
Ooh,
And it
yeah,
gets
yeah.
a nice crust
Oh,
on the
yeah,
top.
the
yeah.
tin.
Very
Yeah.
good. Honorable mention Hot Pockets. Why not?
Ooh,
You
yeah.
got me through childhood.
Classic. Yeah, classic.
My other honorable mention, Sister Schubert's rolls, which are found in the frozen food aisle. That's the ones.
Ooh, I
put
always
in.
stick away
Yeah.
from the frozen bread. It always freaks me out.
I have a dishonorable mention.
Ooh, what's
good,
that?
perfect.
There's an ice cream by a company called Brave Robot. And their whole thing is
Oh, that movie comes out this week.
it's not really milk. We cloned it. So it didn't really come from an animal. And then
Oh.
my body goes, I don't care. I can't process that. So don't get that if you're like,
Ew.
I want to do something good and not age
well,
of dairy suffering. Yeah,
some vegans are really into loopholes.
they are. And I was one of
Wait.
them. Yeah.
So it's like a meat lab.
It was like they
milk?
took like a little bit of milk and like cloned it and like, took down the chemical makeup of it and just made dairy milk that didn't come from a cow. It didn't come from anything. They just made it. And then your body hates it. Your body, you're just going to feel terrible.
I like that some vegans, not all everybody, but some are treating it the way that extremely religious people treat like workarounds for like, oh well, if I do it this way, God can't be mad at me.
Yeah, if you put it in the butt, then
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Mormon shit where it's the soaking.
Yes,
It's the soaking of
Brave
eating.
Robot is the soaking of ice cream. Didn't really come from a cow. Yeah. I didn't enjoy it and I didn't move around, so it's fine.
God's little loophole.
Yeah.
if you just hold a tin under a cow's udder until it
will-
leaks.
Yeah, I'll tell you a vegan loophole I had recently. It was shortly after I did Mount Whitney. I went into Bishop, and there's a place there called, I think it's called Stir Crazy. It's a coffee house. Hilarious name. Or no, it's the Looney Bean. That's the name.
okay,
The
sure.
Looney Bean.
Oh, classic.
Yeah. So I went there and I said, you have a breakfast burrito. Can I get that vegan? And they went, sure. And they gave me the best vegan breakfast burrito I've ever had.
Yeah.
Because it had real bacon in it the whole time. Because I was eating the whole thing and I was like, they cracked the code. I don't know what to do here. But this tastes like actual bacon. And then it was just actual bacon. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, hell
Does
yeah.
that suck to get the tease and be like, damn, that's what I could be eating.
Well, then it was just like, I'm not a religious person, but what vegan god do I have to repent to? Like I didn't do this on purpose.
Just help a pig cross the street. And then
There we go. Well, yeah. Shout out to Andy. Shout out to Dr. Shani.
I hate you.
Yeah. I'd say I'm still with you, man. Yeah.
I used to like you till right now.
tell you what, Dr. Zane and Sam go square off, dude. I'm fucking into it. But thank you for the question.
We're gonna fight like it's a Jack in the Box ultimate breakfast set.
I'll tell you what,
Yeah, I'll freak
that's
out.
going to be a fight that will go longer than
Freak
6
out.
minutes.
There's more time to do what you want to do. More time to be what you want to be. When you set yourself free.
Set yourself free with Stouffer's. Do what you want to do, Stouffer's. Be what you want to be.
Set yourself free.
Set yourself free. Stouffer's.
Y'all, we have time for just one more segment.
We got the Sam of the Week, which normally the Sam of the Week is supposed to be positive. It's supposed to be a good thing. It's supposed to be happy comments.
Okay.
This was just a song I didn't know existed till very recently. You may have heard of Baby, Birdman from Cash Money.
Sure, yes.
When he was coming up in the game, he had this group called B32. And they would wrap around whatever the real street shit was. And at the time in New Orleans, it was kind of posh to do heroin.
What?
Yeah, it was considered like that's just a party town. So it's just
it was
Party town.
It was like the Andy Warhol New York shit of the 60s.
I was gonna say I like that it's like the most social place in America. It's like, no, I want the one with the beanbag and the darkness inside.
well, that's the thing. People would do it and then just fucking chill, hang
Right.
out. It's not like they're like.
I'm a social heroin user. Like I don't do it in my free time. Like I just do it at parties. And,
Opioid crisis in the South is wild, y'all.
So this is B32. I need a bag of dope.
It starts out.
I love already how lo-fi it is.
I love how it's like hissing and shit. Okay, yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, so we got some comments from people.
I bet
These are very relatable to like these. I used to drink beer and smoke cigarettes to this song, but it's all about heroin.
This is kind of the OG, jam of the week, jam of the day kind of thing. Because if you'll recall, this segment started with Sam insisting that we look in the comments of Little White's Oxycontin. So then we're going we're taking it old school here.
Full tilt. Yeah.
And some of these people just full on have their face as their profiles while posting this shit.
Are they holding drugs and today's newspaper as well?
And their address.
So here we got Ivan Kokic. Still can't believe Baby and Manny Fresh made a whole song about snorting heroin. LMAO. I used to play this song on the way to go snort some bags of dope myself.
Oh my God.
Good times. Fentanyl fucked up the game. Now you can't even snort a bag without dying.
I like it. I like the idea where fentanyl is like a rapper. Like,
Fucked up the
fucked
game.
up the game.
We've mentioned it before, but one of my favorite MTV Crib moments is Lil Wayne and Baby at Baby's house, which, by the way, I found out got abandoned after
Baby's house.
it got abandoned after Hurricane Katrina and is still there. And so, like, urban explorers have been like breaking into like the shell
Wait.
of Birdman's old house.
There was a guy named Baby on Cribs.
Yeah.
That's this guy.
Good point. Yeah, not to be confused
The
with Little
penultimate
Baby.
episode of Cribs. Baby.
But he answers the door and they have a jacuzzi in the hot tub, and Birdman says like, yeah, we got everybody in here partying, and then Lil Wayne has to pipe in and go, with girls, we got girls in here partying.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He does say it's like we got all the boys in here.
Yeah.
I love the conspiracy theories that Baby's gay. they're rampant on the internet. Yeah.
There's some comments about this.
Oh, good.
Because boy means heroin and girl means cocaine.
Right.
In
What?
slang.
Lady,
In slang.
I've heard, yeah.
So there's a part of the song where he's like, I don't need that girl, I need that boy in my world. And a bunch of people are calling him gay.
Right.
Which is not the case. So I didn't really include many of those, but that is happening in the comments.
Wow.
What a bad code.
It's pretty good code, honestly.
What do you call mescaline?
Yeah. What do you call peyote, man?
What do you call the other stuff?
Yeah. The blue balloons.
What do you call sniffing glue?
And here's who the fuck Chachi. Who the fuck's Chachi?
Scott Baio.
Real profile picture of their face.
Touche.
Discovered this song when I was heavy on the H, and I used to play this song every day on my way to cop. Sober from opiates
Oh,
now,
no.
but I still come back and listen to get that feeling because there used to be nothing better than knowing you got some money in your pocket, plug answered, and you're on the way to get your shit. Laugh emoji.
Hell yeah.
Just so
By
casual.
the way, I work in healthcare.
Yeah.
Just so casual.
So if you vote for me this November,
Burn the alphabet people, which is a reference to the DEA, FBI, CIA. Burn the alphabet people says, I found my new song to bump when I snort that H or Fetty.
Wouldn't it be that girl?
No, that's a Coke.
yeah, it's
Oh,
coke. Lady is cocaine.
But don't you snort a lady and then you shoot a boy?
Yeah. At Birdman's house, you do. Yeah.
That's what you do.
In Birdman's jacuzzi, absolutely.
I shot a boy between the webbings of my toes.
Just to watch him die.
I shot a man at babies.
I sniffed a girl in the bathroom.
Anthony Williams comes up with a good idea here. I should play this for someone who's on heroin.
Oh, good.
Full
Yes.
comment. Good idea, man.
Excuse me, are you on heroin right now?
Hold still. I'm gonna
Hold on. It's not on Spotify.
I was gonna say.
Hold on.
Hold
This is
still.
kind of a
I gotta
deep cut.
Hold still. I got to stick these earbuds in you. I run bum energy. You can't escape up a tree. I can just climb up it. My muscles. You are on heroin, though, right? Just checking.
Mario McRae comes with another good theory. The good thing about that boy is if you get shot, you have a better chance of surviving because your blood doesn't pump out as fast.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think
yeah.
that's true at all.
I mean, it might be a marginal difference, perhaps, but it's not like
That boy is going to prevent your lungs from working if you do too much of it. Yeah.
I think that's a thing junkies probably tell themselves.
Yeah, they're like, man, everything's cool.
I just
Because
do
even if I
this-
get shot,
bleed out slow.
dude, this is perfect.
That's just urban survival, man. I'm helping.
dude, they call it tar. It thickens up the blood, man. And so you could just be shot a bunch of times and it doesn't matter.
It's great because if I fall asleep on this bus, they'll just keep making the stops.
Why aren't they talking about this on the news, man?
Why isn't Lester Holt talking about this on the news?
I like that was almost a Joe Raines.
Actually,
Oh, Jesus.
sweet Joe.
That girly artist 7399 says, music to sniff to. Love it. Just sniffed 4 fat bags of skull and bones, beige heroin, and I'm loving it.
Damn. 4? Jesus
4
fucking.
bags.
This is their last words.
And then Easy Work 7192 says, I come back to this vid every now and again to see how many junkies be in the comment section. Lol.
Plenty, yeah.
Me too, Easy Work. Me too.
The damn NA meeting in the comments.
This
over
is
there.
wow.
And here's I don't know if I should probably do that one last because it's just a good back and forth between people.
Oh, hell yeah.
You can find a good number of junkies in like Tool song comments too.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Okay, so TK King says, just did a bump with the boy. The face itches and happy times about to start kicking in. 4 years ago. And that was, and this 3 years ago, full of that dope. Yeah, from someone else.
I'm now fully with Travis. Boy is a bad name for this.
Bad. It's very
Got
bad.
to suck it on some boy. Like, I
just
stop.
got
You have to go to jail now.
Just flick the end of a shot of boy.
Yeah.
You ever just get a bunch of boys?
You ever put a boy in a spoon and
that's
heat
what-
him up?
Me and Kevin Anderson called making boy coming. That's making boy.
Oh no!
I think it might have a different meaning now.
I think so, yeah.
Oh man, I was making boy. My face itches.
I lost my family.
I wrote
making boy.
I wrote Nevermind and Bleach.
Yeah.
I made so much boy. I never saw that my grandson was part Tony Hawk.
Okay, so this is the TK King guy. He says he's just did the bump. Brandon says OMG, LMAO. Rugged says jealous. And here, then TK King comes back a year after he originally posted this
Hell yes.
to respond to someone.
I love this.
He says, Rugged, I happened to OD on boy almost a year ago when he first posted this.
Oh no!
Sniffed a 10th and put me in the hospital for about a month. My heart stopped 2 times for 6 minutes each and had kidney failure. Be careful on that boy now. Fentanyl.
Yeah,
And then he responded,
You could say he's gone boy crazy.
yeah.
but then he immediately
Just like my niece.
Boys just want to have coma. That's what they say.
then TK King responds to himself saying, I still use prescription opiates though.
Goodness.
That's a lateral move, guy.
Goodness.
And okay, and so he responded to the guy asking if he was still alive. Rugged comes back with on Fent right now, lol.
Jesus
So like
Christ!
cut with boy where I'm at. Be safe though, my G.
Hey,
This is so different from like the whole like carry on my wayward son
Yeah.
comment section where it's like
Yeah.
it was in the 80s when I last saw my bitch ex-wife.
yeah,
As
yeah.
opposed to I'm currently overdosing on boy.
Although-
it's also making it not sound like a lot of fun. Like, what'd you do? I sniffed a lot of heroin, and then I went to the comments.
Yeah,
Just started posting.
I will say though, to be fair, that is the alternate title for this segment, which is "Just Go Have Fun on Drugs." Don't tell me about it.
Okay, and then a couple more responses.
Oh fuck yes!
Okay, so the guy says I'm on Fent right now, And then the Kill Me username says, I've been sober for days. Can't wait to cop in 2 days.
I've been sober for days. I don't like it.
Yeah. Not for me.
Yeah.
Not for me.
And
Wow,
then,
my stomach hurts.
Yeah.
Some say I'm coming down and I'm dope sick, but
I'm very aware of my actual feelings.
yeah.
I like it.
My ability to climb the walls have been hampered.
Yeah.
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 Not hearing albums that haven't been released.
and
Weird Al's not funny right now.
Finally, after all of that, a guy responds to the guy who says he's on Fent right now and says, "Are you still alive?" To no response.
Oh no. Oh,
Oh, there's your answer.
Wow. Well, based on this timeline, though, it could be like 2 years later, like, oh, LOL, I was,
I was busy.
yeah, I was deep in that boy.
I had a big boy problem back then, but now I'm a bus driver.
I have big boy problems.
Big boy problem.
dude, you haven't had boy until you've had Bob's big
That's
boy.
like when you go see Baby at his crib. He's like, I used to have big boy problems.
Bob's big boy at the restaurant. No, it's a guy named Bob who sells a shitload of heroin.
Yeah. And
How could
makes
you
a
misinterpret
killer
that?
burger. Good burger guy, too.
AKA mescaline.
And here's another one. I didn't even notice this when I first screenshot. I was trying to screenshot a different comment, but here's Elena T with her fucking full face profile picture listening to this while trying to score. Just beautiful.
But
Just
maybe she
what you
no.
need to use your full face profile picture
I
for.
think she means like cinematically. Like she was working on
She's the Hans Zimmer of boy addicts.
Yeah, I used to be into Buggles, but now I am just trying to score.
Oh, well, that is our Sam of the week. Beat 32. I need a bag of dope.
Keep in mind, this is a parody / remix of a song called Powder Bag, where the chorus is, I need a powder bag, need a powder bag. It's like an almost direct ripoff of that song. Because that song got popular, and then they're like, let's do it about heroin. Because it's the same group of people.
Speaking of Weird Al, he should do versions of these songs.
Yeah.
It's like, I need a donut. No, it's like, I need a tag. It's like getting your for your like checking your luggage at the airport or something.
That is our program. Travis Clark, please tell people where they could find you on the internet.
You can follow me at Track Rivals, which is just an anagram of my name because every other Travis Clark is a youth minister. So
That's an unfortunately common name. I've never Googled it, but I can just tell.
a lot of my people with my name are like, you need to know about Jesus, youth person. And I know that because they'll follow me, and then I'll say things like, I wish all children tasted like Sour Patch Kids. And they'll get like really confused and offended. So anyway, follow me at Track Rivals if you want to see any of my hiking adventures.
Yes.
Instagram is where I do all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Carter, where can people find you online?
Carter _ on Instagram is where you can find me.
Sam, where can people find you on the internet?
Sam Harder 666 on Instagram, Slam Harder on Twitter. Find me on the YouTube page for the Goods from the Woods every Thursday at 5. Walking around streaming,
Getting breakfast sandwiches stolen, attempted stealing.
getting our shoes shined on Melrose.
That's right. Yeah, my guy on Melrose shined my sneakers
God,
for me.
that's so funny.
Yeah.
Mine
These are old too.
I clean these with the wipe he sold me.
Oh yeah. I gotta wipe it. Looks like a rubber. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it looks like a rubber.
Like for a horse.
Get the Jimmy caps in my wallet.
It'd be funny if you pulled it out before putting on a condom and wiped your dick and balls down with it.
Got it really shiny.
What if the horse refused the horse condom? Because it's like it neighs, it takes away all the feeling.
Hell yeah. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rivers Langley. And if you live in Los Angeles or surrounding climes, November 1st, the grand return of Wrestling Pro Wrestling coming to the Regent Theater in downtown LA. We're doing a double bill with local indie rock sensation Lily, where the lead singer will be fighting the nefarious Ricotta Flair in the main event of that show. So come on out. Eric Barnes and I will be calling all the action with all of your Wrestling Pro Wrestling faves. We'll see you at the Regent, everybody. And as far as our show goes, the best way to support our show, if you're watching this and you're not just listening, you're already doing it. It's patreon.com/thegoodspod. You can also buy a t-shirt, prowrestlingtees.com/thegoodspod. Make you look skinny on TV. Second best way to support our program, head to Apple Podcast, head to Spotify, write a comment, share it with your friend, rate, review, and subscribe. Show the attitude of gratitude, because if you do not have the attitude of gratitude, Daddy, rock goblins are coming for you and nobody's going to talk about it. The Goods from the Woods was recorded and edited by me, Rivers Langley. You can find our show on Twitter @TheGoodsPod. Our theme song was composed by Jonas, the Space Cowboy.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.